Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Conversation and Commentary, live watch along with October Red. As you can see, there's been some streaming difficulties where I've been faffing about with cameras, doing this and that, but welcome to all of you. So sorry if you've clicked one link, that link's no longer available, but I am here. Right, so let me split this screen so I can actually see what's going on in the boxing. So I'm Abs of October Red. We finally got there. I probably should have started about half an hour ago, but unfortunately, I couldn't connect this streaming network to the live stream. I do hope this is on. Please let me know in the chat if you can see this because I don't even know if this is actually streaming. But welcome to all of you. Zach Chel is actually going after David Morrell Jr. at the moment, which is very, very impressive because he was due. He was due to fight Callum. Wow, he was due to fight. He's gonna go. Is he gonna go down or is he rolling the shots? Wow, Zach Chel, talk about banana skin. Thank you very much for letting me know that you can see me. Like I said, I will apologize. So, should we do a little bit of a rewind? Abs of October Red. This is a live watch along for Fabio Wardley versus Daniel Dubois for the WBO Heavyweight Championship title of the world. I was supposed to go live about half an hour ago, but I had some software issues and whatever. But we're here, better late than never. And it looks like it's a very competitive fight between David Morrell Jr. and Zach Chel. One of the things with Zach Chel, even when he fought with Boxer, because that's where I first met him, they was the first ones to either sign him or put him on their shows. He was one of these that was always a bit of a banana skin. People didn't really, they like looked at him and thought, yeah, I'm not going to take him seriously. And he's had a few fights where he's got the W. Obviously, with everything that changed with Boxer, he ended up going to or being managed by Warren Boxing Management. Because when I was doing some commentary for those guys, he was on one of those cards in your core. But you can actually see a bit of a competition here, and he's going to go after him. This would be an absolute banana skin because remember, he was scheduled, he was ordered. Now, this is where it can get a little bit political. He was ordered to fight Callum Smith. Callum Smith dropped out with injury. He sat ringside saying, yeah, this fight's going to happen. It's ordered. But these pair are going at it. This could be a banana skin, a cherry pick gone wrong. I'm even thinking if the fight's ordered, should he actually be having this in-between fight? What kind of wrangle-tangle was this? But it's still early in the... No, it's not. It's round 10 of 10. That's how long I've been faffing about with the software. So, guys, if you want to tell me who you think has won so far, because I've been listening to it and not watching it, and, sometimes with the commentary on the TV, they don't tell you what's happening. They're kind of talking amongst themselves a little bit like what I'm doing now. So, good evening. Let me go to the chat. How dare I? How rude am I? Can you share this if you can, guys, on X? I'm going to share it myself as well, so people can click the correct link and join in with this one. So let's have a look at the chat. Ras says, yes, Reds, Rastafari, love to you. Back at you as well. Railway Boxing Fan 2000s, hi there, I see you. Thank you so much for that. I've had an absolute nightmare with this. This is like a wild fight. Ooh. Ras is saying hopefully a big upset. Well, anything can happen in this one because it's not very well scripted. This fight is cherry pick gone wrong, short last minute gone wrong. But I don't know how Zach's got on for the rest of the fight unless it's been competitive all the way through. Is it a wise man? Hello, October. Can't wait for the Wardley Dubois fight. Don't know who wins it. Neither do I, to be honest. Zach Chel is... Oh, my God, he's knocked him out cold on his feet. Zach Chel stock has just gone through the roof. Oh my days. Like he said in the changing room, inshallah, he gets the W. He was with Boxer. They dropped him when they obviously left Sky. He went to Warren Boxing Management, which is obviously the brother of Frank Warren. Was on their small hall cards, jumped in short notice. Morel's obviously in camp. I don't know, obviously, how fit Zach Chelly was. He's got the stoppage. And you know, one of the things with these Frank Warren cards, because they're so colourful, I like to call them, there's always going to be an upset on the card. What a way to start off the night. Wow. And Zach Chelly, I'm sure Zach Chelly, Zach Chelly, like, no, I think Zach Chelly started off at super middle as well. So did Morel Jr. Wow, what an upset. But we like it though, because we don't want it to be plain sailing, do we? Because then it'd be a very boring night. So welcome to all of you. Like I said, I'm Abs of October Red, and this is the Wardley versus Dubois conversation and commentary. Stopped him in round number 10. Back with his dad. I think he left his dad for a bit, went back to his dad. His dad's very passionate about his son, and he's the one that would mouth off to fighters and bully them on behalf of Zach, because Zach's quite, respectable. But wow, the Italian does it, gets the upset. So he'll be back on Frank Warren's cards now, because he's just beat the Cuban former Olympian that was due to be like the star of the earth. Yeah, he lost to Benavidez, but how did he lose to Benavidez? That continuous pressure once again, isn't it? Wow. Technical stopped him on his feet. Congratulations to Zach Chelly. That's a statement. That's what you go and do. So good evening to all of you anyway. Obviously, there is no footage if you haven't been here before. It is just literally, we talk about the fights, I commentate on the fights, and then I come back to the chat and we keep the chat flowing. That's what I like to do. The chat is very, very important to me, because that's where all of the engagement is. What an upset. The Cuban comes over to the UK and he's literally just like, Zach Chelly's just flipped the script. Damn, I don't even know what to say. Let's get back in the chat. Yes, Wardley, the choice. I said Wardley because I know that Wardley's very calm. He doesn't play up. He's not like really aggressive in your face, does the trash talk. And I know that Dubois seems to react better. Like he takes everything personal, doesn't he? Everything as it is, he takes it personal. Just like, Baby Miller was saying, I'm your daddy, and he was saying, oh, I'm going to be your daddy or whatever. And then he thought, Hergovich was laughing at him, basically being derogatory towards him, if you could read in between the lines with that press conference. And then obviously Anthony Joshua tried to buoy him up, and it just weren't happening. With those fights, you've seen like a different side to Dubois, a Dubois that feels like he's got to prove a point. But with the build up with this, and this is me, you know what we're like. We analyze stuff, don't we? I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm saying usually when somebody's calm and collected, it's like the silent assassin, the ones that you got to watch out for. So that's why I was kind of going for Wardley, because I think when it comes to grit, when it comes to going to the end, I believe that Wardley is really strong in that character of his. We know that, we've seen it before, haven't we? But I don't know. I keep on swaying. I said it on camera that I'm backing Wardley, and that was maybe about a month or two ago. And then I started swaying, and I keep doing it. But all I know is going to be a good fight. But my God, I did not know this was going to be a good fight. But I did know that Gavin Gwynn versus Khalil Majid. And shout out to Gavin Gwynn, who's with, I think it's, he trains up in Wales. I'm trying to remember his trainer. He's with Joe Cordina now. Gary Lockett. So shout out to Gavin Gwynn. That was a proper tear up. Shout out to Khalil Majid that kept the pace up all the way through the fight, but seemed to like fade in the last round. The advice that he was getting in there to box was really good from Buddy McGirt, but Gwynn just stayed on him. But instead of like crumbling, Majid just came up to the table and was throwing as just as good as he got. If that was a draw, I wouldn't have been too angry about it if it was a draw, but obviously it wasn't. And Gavin Gwynn got the W. So shout out to Gavin Gwynn. Sometimes you think these guys, they have like a resurgence in their career, don't they? Where you think, okay, maybe this is it for them, but then they just start showing these young boys, as it were. I'm still the senior here, and I will drill you up. I will bully you and get the W. And that's, to me, that's what he did with Khalil. But Khalil did brilliantly to keep up with him. But a great fight. And then we get this. I cannot believe that Zach Chel stopped this geezer on his feet. David Morrell, where's his career gone now? Fair enough, he lost to Benavidez. He's lost to Zach Chel. And if you look at it in the scheme of things, should he have lost to Zach Chel? Nope. But did we know that Zach Chel is dangerous? Yeah, if you've watched his fights. And he really does believe in himself. Very respectful, polite young man. But this is life-changing. This is short notice. This is potentially a cherry pick that's gone wrong. Ben Whittaker will be at home licking his lips, salivating now. However, I'm going to ask you guys in the chat, how do you think, styles make fights, right? How do you think Zach Chel fares up to Ben Whittaker now? Because now they're going to be saying, oh, Morrell's lost. We don't want him. He's not worth anything anymore. So he's going to be out the picture when it comes to Matchroom and Ben Whittaker. But what about Zach Chel? But we'll see, won't we? Let me get back into this chat. Apologies for you guys if you've had to like run all over YouTube to try and find the live, because the link that I put up is no longer available. Because the software that I set up just decided it wasn't going to connect to YouTube. So I've set up, I think this is a third stream I've set up, and I've just said, forget it. Just stream it through YouTube. Forget the secondary software. Yeah, what an upset. Railway and boxing fan. Do you remember me from the comments? Don't shout at me. If you don't comment often, then the answer is going to be no. But if you comment a lot, I tend to remember the names that I see all the time. So apologies. Apologies. I don't know. So, Railway and boxing goes on to say, what an upset. Ras puts up everything and says, yep, told you. So another one that banked on the upset. I want to know if you see that is actually, because I wonder what he put on this, if he likes to put his bets on. So I'm wondering what he put in on this one, to be fair, because I don't think he mentioned this fight to me. Thank you very much, Ras. I do try my best. Triple D for me. Met him in Grenada, so I've got a fair play. What was he like when you met him? Ataz, good to see you. And I'm all good, and I hope you are as well. 68, the regular. Yeah, I'm definitely in shock as well. But am I in shock? Yeah, I am actually. I'll be lying if I says I wasn't stunned. Not that I underestimated Zach Chel. I clearly overestimated David Morrell Jr. Right, reminds me when Terry Harper got stopped on her feet, when Alicia Baumgardner came over to the UK as well, 68 DG, Zach is high risk for Whittaker. Well, he will be now, won't he? And I know what Frank Warren's like. I can hear him now saying, well, David Morrell called out Ben Whittaker, and Whittaker wasn't interested in that. And then he'll shrug his shoulders and he'll go, we've got Zach Chel. What do you think about that? I can hear it. I can hear Frank Warren. Half of me wish I was there just to speak to him afterwards about that, because I was planning all week to get to speak to Morrell Jr. But at the press conference, the day that I turned up to Manchester, the undercard fighters weren't there. It was just the main card. So if you see the conversations that I've got, to be fair, I didn't even get the two main fighters, but it was everything around that, because the undercard fighters weren't at the press conference. But they say everything happens for a reason, because I could have got David Morrell saying that he was going to smoke Whitaker all online and that, and then he would have got trolled to hell. So maybe it just wasn't meant to happen. Let's have a look. Railway says, "Oh, fair enough. Don't worry. Only one comment every now and then. Plus, I'm new to your channel." Well, a warm welcome to you, Railway and boxing fan. I do appreciate all of my subscribers. Shout out to you for jumping in on it, joining our family that we've had for about 5-6 years now. So, a warm welcome to you. Make yourself at home. I've put subscribers mode, I think, only on this because I keep on getting trolled, by the streaming stuff, and I'm sick and tired of pressing the buttons to get them out when I'm trying to talk to you lot. So I've just put subscribers only. It's a little bit of a cheat code as well, because if you want to comment, you've got to subscribe, and then you've got to wait a bit as well. But we'll see how petty people are, because they could wait, subscribe, and then unsubscribe when the live's over. It's one of them, innit? But I've done it because of the bots. So if you've just joined us, an absolute warm welcome to you. Ignore every link that you've seen on Twitter or even on Instagram. This is where we are. Me trying to do all production, different software, flopped it, and then just went back to the old school webcam, direct from YouTube. No fancy intros, nothing great, just raw October Red. Let's have a look. So Wiseman says, "I didn't see this happening with Morel, but I wouldn't mind seeing Whitaker versus Zach." Get stirring, guys. Start putting it on X, because I will be. I really hope somebody at tonight's fight in Manchester, one of these 568 channels that are there, asks Frank Warren, will he approach Ben Whitaker, Matchroom Boxing, to get that fight on. However, I don't know where Zach Chel's ranked. So if you want to run to BoxRec and have a look, I don't know if they're going to be that update, but you have to understand that Ben Whitaker, I think, is he number 3 or number 2 in the WBC light heavyweight rankings. So he's quite high up. But where was the guy that he fought the other day? The Argentinian. Can we say that he was high up? No, he wasn't. Hope someone asks the question. Jesus, good evening to you. And Morel keeps chasing David Benavidez. Well, he did, didn't he? And he got battered. He lost that fight as well. Hi, Chris. Oh, see, the regulars are starting to turn it. Thank God for that. I've seen 68. I've seen the only Chris Welsh. I'm glad that you found me. I hope you're well as well, Chris. That's one result I at least expected. Absolutely. The same. The same. You kind of thought, yeah, well, I didn't think it was going to be an easy fight, but I didn't think Morel was going to get stopped, because I know, I've seen Morel's fights. He's powerful, but then you look back on his opponents, and then who has he actually fought? Do we in boxing, do we have this myth that forms in our head that because of the hype that's around the fighter, because of the promotions, because of where they're from, because of the historic link towards Cuban fighters, etc., that they're inevitable? Were there chinks in Morel's armor that we potentially saw before we fought David Benavidez, but we ignored them because he's cute? All of these stereotypes that reinforce our thoughts on fighters. We do it all the time, don't we? And then something happens, and then because you were on the ceiling with what you thought about them, when they flop or if they lose or whatever it is, it just plummets into the ground, and then it's oh, you weren't that good anyway. But was you? That's the argument, isn't it? Anyway, oh, look, Joey's here. Good evening to you, Joey. Only Chris Welsh. Zach should get that Callum Smith fight, to be fair. To be fair, why not? As that fight between him and Morel was going to be rescheduled, ordered. There's going to be no point in that now, is there? So that's what I'm saying. Will that fighter be in trouble for having that fight because Smith dropped out for injury? And the only reason why I'm asking this, guys, this is the business side of it, and I am going to start commentating on this fight coming up now between Brad Ray and Liam Cameron. Look, Troy Williamson beat or won the fight against Callum Simpson. They were supposed to have a rematch. Callum Simpson was injured, so Troy Williamson managed to get himself on the Saudi fight with Makhmudov Fury undercard. Yep, okay. No, you're not allowed to do that. because you were supposed to have the rematch contracted. This one, there was no rematch, but it was ordered. So will Morrell now be penalised because he took a fight when he should have just cooled off and waited before and then just like went and fought Callum Smith? Is he going to get into trouble? Should he have even took this fight? When you think about how the business runs, is there a difference between a contracted rematch and an ordered bout? I don't know, but we'll see. Chris says Chel and Morrell had shades of Froch v Taylor. And Joseph said, congrats to Zach. Absolutely, congrats. So Railway Boxing Fan says, I became a boxing fan since 2018 and I met Derek Chisora just days before his fight with Wilder. Brilliant stuff. God, you sound like you land on your feet a bit there. Joseph, neither did I. Zach is at 7 on BoxRec. Thank you very much for spotting that. So he's credible then. He's credible. He won't be put into the world rankings. If he's not already there, he won't be into the world rankings as in the 4 governing bodies just yet. I can't imagine. Maybe, could he be in the top 20? I don't know. Only Chris Welsh says, happy for Gwyn. He's still got it. He definitely has. That was a proper battle, enjoyable fight. I was watching that when really I should have been sorting out this software, but we are here. Now, this is a fight that I'm looking forward to. I don't know if it's going to have as much sparks as the fight before, but we have got Brad the Stingray versus Liam Cameron. We know Liam Cameron. I remember him for fighting Lyndon Arthur. I got my record or memory of him fighting before that is vague, but I do remember the fight with Lyndon Arthur. I thought, oh, that's particularly close. So when he was scheduled to fight Ben Whittaker, I said to him, I think people might be sleeping on you for this fight because I watched you with Lyndon Arthur and that was a pretty close fight, etc., etc. And we got talking. And then obviously we know what happened with Ben Whittaker 1. He went and rectified it in the second fight. Brad, great fighter. He's just come out the ring with Lyndon Arthur as well. So I like how they do this. They're kind of mixing up their fighters, which Queensbury do. He's come off a win as well. So yeah, this should be quite a good fight. So one's coming off a win, which was a close win. Arguably the other guy won it. And this one, obviously, Brad lost. I think he got stopped, didn't he, by Lyndon Arthur, who's fighting, I think, is it Southampton, Southport? I can't even remember. Let's have a look. Both lovely guys, to be fair. Both lovely guys. Let's see how this fight goes. Brad Ray. Can't remember who Brad Ray's coach is. The referees are reading them their rights, I like to say, before they walk back to the respective corners with their coaches. And then they're left on their own, get the final marching orders from the coaches. Everything you've learned has brought you to tonight. Make it count. I think that's a positive words to say to your fighters. No pressure. Seconds out, round number 1. As they both just move around slightly before trying to set up their early shots. Both of them in the center of the ring there. Brad establishes himself early, throws out the faint jab to the head and jab to the body. We've got Liam Cameron. He's a tucked up high guard, throws out his own jab. Nothing's really particularly landing with any true purpose at this moment. It is early days, but saying that, jab managed to come through Ray on the head of Cameron as he throws a hook and Cameron just moves out of the way. I think experience may play a part in this fight, but Ray's definitely trying to make his shots count early. Nice hard guard. High guard from Cameron. Ray has his gloves at chin level, ready to flick those hands out as he throws a nice 1-2-3 combination, just touching Cameron. That's the work from Ray. Bit of a feeling out round here, not straight to business like the last 2 fights. This one's looking a little bit more technical. Both guys throw out the jab at the same time. Cameron throws out to Sweep the jab, misses. Brad throws back. Look, Brad just on the front foot there, just pushing Liam back with his shots. A nice, like I said, he kind of like pushes out, range finds with the jab, and then just throws out that 1-2. And the 1-2-3, the 3 miss, but he throws back the 1-2 again. More aggressive, I'd say, from Brad. More composed. The shots are meaningful. You know, there's no pouring. They are stiff, you know, like a stick, as a Buddy McGirt would call it. Little bit once again, Ray with the jab. We've got Cameron's just moving around. He moves around to the right there, throws off his own combinations to the head of Ray. Ray just takes a breath in. His chin's just slightly up there. Hopefully he tucks it back down. Goes to throw the jab and the overhand. Misses with the overhand. Comes back with the jab. Cameron throws out his own jab. Both guys just circling around to their left. Jab to the body. 1, 2, 3. 4 from Ray. With the combination work there. Cameron just throws the 1, 2, but sort of like pauses on the 2, waits, doesn't really throw back. Brad Razor unloading here, going to the body, going to the head, pushing Cameron back. Cameron just seems to be slow starting, but I just don't think he should do that in this fight. Let's have a look. The only Chris Welsh. I did go for Gwyn to win with my eyes, but thought he was gonna get robbed again, like the Vong fights. This fight for Gwyn was close, but 96-94 Gwyn was fair. Yeah, Morale was number 5 in the Ring magazine. The Smith fight was a winner. Is mandatory for the full world title. Zach will be in the top 10 with the next rankings. Yeah, I don't think they would have thrown him up there that quick, but I guarantee by Monday morning he'll be somewhere in there. So it could be. And I think Eddie would rather let Callum Smith have Zach Chelle than Ben Whittaker have Zach Chelle. Hopefully I will be getting Frank Smith and I will be able to ask him these questions. I've pinned something on my Twitter, on my X. Frank Smith's coming on the channel. It's going to be sometime this week. We haven't scheduled a time yet. But please put questions in there because I definitely know that's a question that I will be asking. Will that fight now be scheduled with Zach Chelle? Will it be somebody else? Etc. etc. So we'll see how it goes. Right, we're going into round number 2, I believe. 2 of 10 round fight. And this is the fight before the main one. I think they should have switched it up. Zach Chelle should have been the co-main, but you never know at the time, do you? Who should have been like the co-main? Let's have a look. I'll get back to the chat shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just keep my eye on this fight. Brad Ray, once again, he's on the front foot. We've got some lateral movements from Cameron, but no real like purposeful work, if I'm going to call that. Ray's like he's gone in there with intention. It's like he's got a plan. He's got a strategy. He's sticking to it. And once again, he throws that 1-2, and Cameron just slightly stumbles back, moves his gloves from his head like I don't know, like a stumble, uncomfortable. I'd say here, you know me, I'm not one for writing down who wins what round, but I'd definitely say Brad Ray at this time has won. Well, this round's not finished yet, but he's looking to be 2-0 to Ray. Nice, lovely, stiff jab he's got. And when he throws his combinations together, they're so neat. Look how he's like really side on as a fighter as well. There's no squaring up of any sort, even his body side on. Sometimes you get the feet side on, but the body, the torso's face inside. And saying that, Cameron just throws in some nice uppercuts on the inside. Brad Ray comes back with the long levers, throwing out that jab, double jab, 1, 2, 3. That seems to be his shot as he throws the backhand there. Look at the jab, how it comes out from Cameron to compare to how it comes out from Brad. Brad's using it as like a real like poking rod. So but that was a beautiful overhand right there by Cameron. That could have been a equilibrium shot. You need to be careful with that. Once again, Brad uses the backhand as a lead hand as he just flicks out that jab there. So looking here, it looks like Cameron is trying to make the shots count, not overworking himself, not getting himself tired, looking to throw meaningful shots, maybe looking for those gaps, those opening, reading the timing of Brad Ray so he can throw his shots in and literally make them count. Look, you're not going to be able to take overhands all night, are you? So it could be strategy. He believes that he can afford to be down early on in the rounds, and he starts to wake up. Really good work, yeah. Looks like he was reading him for the first couple of rounds, the first round and a half, and then he starts to pick up the pace. So, yeah, definitely more aggressive there coming in from, oh, God, yeah, Esimman. How can I forget Esimman and Raferty's on next? I do apologise. There's like 700 fights on this card. Yeah, definitely better work from Cameron in the later part of round 2. Let me get to the chat. Railway says, when I met Derek Chisora about a month ago, he wasn't as tall as I expected, but built-wise, he was massive, 19 stone of muscle. Chris Welsh, I felt Ray is a better boxer than Cameron, but you know, not in a disrespectful way, of course. That's just your opinion, isn't it? Maestro must be having a meltdown with that Chel stopping his man. That comes from Danny from Fight Fan TV. I guess Ben Whittaker could beat him after all, eh? Imagine. And that's why it's like, believe in yourself, take the risks. I sat down, I spoke with Eddie, and he was like, yeah, of course he's going to fight Morrell, but just not yet. You know, like Ben has to be ready. Look what happens there. Sometimes you've just got to take a bet on yourself. Jalalov this evening, you know, the bogeyman, the nightmare. There was a couple of, UK heavyweights that probably would have gone in there and had a real good boxing match with him and probably would have won. You've got to believe in yourself. You have to take those risks, you know. And one thing I will say about the Queensbury lot, quite often, because they have like 980 fights on one card, you do get a lot of them like risk taking with the fights. They'll throw their own in. They're always throwing their own in with each other. I remember when Queensbury were doing like their fight nights was more like a Friday night at York Hall, and you'd watch the fights and it was like really competitive fights, majority through the night. Now that they've got obviously the bigger stage, they're going all over the country, etc. We're getting to see that more. But I can remember watching some Queensbury fights on Friday, and I was like, these are good fights. This is both guys are actually in the clinch at the moment. We've got 1 minute 35 left in this round. More exchanges from both fighters. I'd definitely say Cameron's woke up, throwing shots to the body. I think, you know, Ray would be probably better off using that distance. But you can see now Cameron is edging forward. Still has the high guard. But saying that, Ray's just pushed him back once again. He's still got the high guard, but it looks like Cameron just wants to get inside so he can unleash the shots. And when he unleashes them, his timing's particularly good, to be fair. Does Brad just keep that chin down? As Ray walks towards Cameron, that's moving laterally. Towards the ropes, but not on the ropes. Uppercut is missing, so you got some shots here that Ray is not in range for. That can also, you know, especially if you're loading up on the shots as well, that can really mess with your gas tank. So it seems as if Cameron's like quite cleverly just where he needs to be, just staying slightly out of range. Ray still, you know, got those volume of punches. Like I said, they've got more pop in them. I think that's the word that I was looking for earlier. Nice 1-2, but Cameron throws in his own counter. Some reddening on the cheek of Cameron there. Coming up to the end of round 3 with this contest. And I do apologise. We've got another fight after this before we get to the main fight, which is a fight I'm expecting to be an absolute grueler between Jack Rafferty and Echo Esimman. As you can see, DAZN's at the back now speaking to Echo. Echo, somebody that turns up for every single fight, gives it absolutely everything. He's always there. I don't know. I just feel like he should have pushed on so much further in his career, but it's like they just keep on like they've got he's like his position is like Mr. Tough Man, and who can we get through? Who's going to get through him next? He doesn't seem to like progress, which is a shame because he's won a few fights. Yeah, he's lost a couple, but he's also won two. Uh, I get on really well with Frank Smith, so Hugo, I don't know. I don't know what you know, but what I tend to do, Hugo, is I measure people on how they actually are with me, because everyone can say something about everybody, can't they? If you're not particularly a nice person to me, I'll have my own opinion of you as well. But as far as I know, Frank Smith, at the drop of a hat, I can message him and say, oh, are you okay to do something? And if you think about, if you look at the channels and you look at the sizes of channels compared to mine, he's in every right to say, no, you're not big enough. No, but he doesn't. So, I get on quite well with Frank. So hopefully I'll have him on this week. If it's live, which I don't think it will be, I think I'll do a pre-recorded. You can jump on and tell us why you think that, Hugo. The Boss Man 4875. Good evening to you as well. I don't know what you look like, so I don't know if I can call you a brother, but good evening to you. Because Boss Man, Wagwan Sistrin. Yeah, you could be, couldn't you? I'm looking at the spelling of Wagwan. I think I might have put R in the Guan still. I don't know. Let me know, Boss Man, because Boss Man could be anybody these days, couldn't it? Whoa! Cameron goes down. It's them ramrod shots. See, look at me getting this. Oi, 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 oi. Round number 4 of 10. A minute 40 left, right? Get back into this fight now. Brad Ray's going in for the kill. Uppercut, body shot. And yeah, he's down again. Is that the towel gone in? It's not a white one, is it? Is it a black towel? Yeah, they've waved it off. Well done. Lost to Lyndon Arthur. Got Liam Cameron. I did say his punches had more pop to them, didn't I? He was in there with purpose, like pop. Fair play. Well done. I thought maybe Cameron was playing to some kind of oh, it's Jake. That's not is he still training out of Sheffield with Smithy? That didn't look like Smithy in the corner. There you are, Iffy. Iffy, I need your opinion. What do you think about Zach Cheli fight with David Morrell? I need your opinion on that. I need to know, did you bet on the underdog? Everybody, gamble aware, please. I don't encourage gambling, but Iffy and I have had this, online, did you bet on the underdog.com for a few years now. So just ignore us. But I'm glad to see you here. I've got my regulars now. I've got my 68. I've got only Chris Welsh. I've got Iffy in the chat. So welcome to all of you. But it's nice when I see like the regular ones that turn up. It's like, yeah, okay, it's circulating fine. Right, let's have a look. I'm definitely a brother. If you doubt me, you can meet me in person to check. No, sir. Me not do them something there. Nope. I keep myself to myself. I see them documentaries. And you know the thing about the internet? You know about the internet, but now you're good. I'll take your word for it. But next time, just put up a picture of yourself on YouTube so I can see what you look like. And it's if you comment. Because when people comment and I see the pictures, I have a click in them in it. I like to have a click in them. Usually trolls don't have pictures because I want to say horrible things and no one can see their face. But congratulations to Brad Ray for getting that win. God, when he said don't blink, I should have kept my eyes on the fighting, but I was catching up with you lot in the chat. Right, Cameron lost his hunger after he bought the house outright. It's a shame that is, isn't it? Reiki Lee, I remember this. I remember you. Can you commentate on the fight like a 1930s radio commentator when Wardley comes out for the fight? May I ask why you want me to do it like a 1930s radio commentator? Is that you politely telling me to shut up and get on with like commentating on the fights? Or is this like some kind of fetish that you've got? Like I said, online, I have to do my online safety reading. There's some strange people. Not that I'm saying you're one. 1930s commentary. I don't know. Let's have a look. I'll see. Taking requests now. I wish you cashed in on that Zach. I wish you cashed in on that Zach fight. I didn't regret it. I never rated morale. Serious. Interesting. Oh, you did cash in. Fair play. Oh, Django's here as well. So we've got overseas now as well. We've got the overseas gang, we've got the American gang, the UK gang. I think Jesus was in the chat earlier, and I think he's from Mexico. So yeah, we are flying. I love to see this. So good evening to you as well. Is the main fight next? No, apologize for that. I thought it was next. It's actually Jack Rafferty versus Echo Esimman. That's the fight that's next. And then we get the main event. My bad. 68 DG. Rez looks small. Rez looks small for light heavyweight. He's likely fighting fully hydrated with no big weight and a good stoppage. Oh, you mean Ray? Sorry, I do apologize. Yeah, he does. He's tidy. He's compact. He's strong. Fair play to him. Fair play to him. I don't know what Liam Cameron's going to do now though, because I think I do agree with Iffy. It looks like he's just lost his hunger a bit. I thought he was doing tactics. I tried to be fair and say, okay, maybe he's doing this, and then he showed some life at the end of round number 2. But yeah, maybe he has lost his hunger. Oh, you didn't cash in. Iffy, you're flopping it now, mate. Hugo, I don't know. I'm going to leave that to the chat. Hugo has said, Hugo Black 3489 has said, what round is Triple D getting Wardley out of there? Good question. But is he going to do it, or is Wardley going to do it? I think that's the main question, really, isn't it? Reiki Lee, no fetish. I just like the commentary style in the old movies. It's kind of like radio. A great show. Yeah, so I am bonkers, Reiki. You will learn that about me if you keep coming back. I'm a couple of crisps short of a bag of crisps, 50 pence short of a quid, however you want to put it. And I do definitely give things a side eye when I'm thinking, where are you going with this? Because I have had some strange people join the chat, but today I put subscribers on only. So yeah, great stuff. Because I don't want the trolls in there advertising like the streaming for the show, because it ruins my flow. If he said Cameron is done, before he got the big payday, he was moving in the ring, doing much better, but his work rate is low. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to him there. I don't know. Has he just like lost his love for it? Brad Ray, young, still hungry, a lot to prove. Obviously, the fight that he had with Lyndon Arthur. Lyndon Arthur got the dub there, so he's come back with something to prove. But I remember watching him and Lyndon Arthur go at it. And this is what I'm saying. You still get to come back and fight. I spoke to Lee Eaton, and he said, if you're in a competitive fight, if you lose well, because there is a way to lose. I guess if you go in there and get sparked out in round number 1 and you didn't really show anything, then yeah, there's not going to be any rush to get you back out there, is there? But when you lose in a fashion that people were entertained by your fighting, then they're going to bring you back. And I think, to be fair, I think that applies across the board as well. But I was speaking to Lee about it, because I was saying, you've got all of these heavyweights. They're all going to end up fighting each other. Like, what happens, like, for the loser? This could be detrimental for the loser's career. You got to look at Fabio Wardley. He doesn't know what it's like to lose. And I know that some people do take losses like a lot worse than others do. Look, these fighters go through grueling camps. They're like us. They've got things going on in their life. Any boxer that's watching this, if they are, will tell you the same thing. They've got to make sure their mind is in the right place before they get into that ring. If they lose, they're going to be thinking, okay, so my money, what am I going to do? I've got a family, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and how am I going to afford to pay for it? And that's why sometimes I think us as fans, because I'm always a fan first, sometimes I think we can be a little bit harsh on the boxers. And that's why I try not to take the mick, because they've got to go up there and put on a show. Could you do it? Could we do it? Do you know what I mean? Could we do what they do? Would we be that comfortable if we were getting slated online, or every time you open up a boxing app, it's there when you get you got clarted and everyone's like making reels out of you. Do you remember when Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz and the memes that they were doing? They was doing like out of body experiences, and then he was on like a conveyor belt going up like the escalators onto an airplane, and it was wild, wild. A fighter that he shouldn't have lost to, potential short notice banana skin, which is exactly what happened to David Morrell. Because you can't say he wasn't fit. He was in camp. He was supposed to be fighting 2 weeks ago. So yeah, bit of a crazy one. But also a lot of stuff has been brought up this week in regards to, I think, Daniel Dubois exiting interviews, or not really, interested in what people are saying to him, what they're trying to draw him out in the conversations and whatnot, and he's getting really frustrated. Some people see that. I think I spoke to Mike, who's the manager of Fabio Wardley, and he was saying that just shows his character. When somebody says something he doesn't like, or when somebody puts the pressure on him, he always looks for a way out, and that's the way that they see that it's going to go in the ring. But then I was saying, but isn't he just like that because he's like socially awkward and doesn't really want to talk to people? I saw him the other day and he like grunted at me. So I wasn't going to ask him to speak to him anyway, but I know I'm not going to get anything out of him. So it's pointless speaking to him, but he's had these cameras like pointed in his face. Do you like blood? What's that about? What kind of question is that? It's just like it's absolutely insane. I think if he put something up on Twitter, so I went and had a look, and I thought, okay, because I hadn't seen none of his interviews. I've purposely not watched anything really, unless it's been like something that I'm going to learn from. But I know that these channels are looking for those sound bites. They're looking for those things to like plaster it, all over the internet. The conversation that he had with Ariel Helwani, I think he walked out of that as well. Never watched that, but I saw Ariel put up like an apology, like saying I should have done better. I've spoke to him before. I've interviewed him before. I should have done better. So he blames himself for that. But then it seemed to have been like a what would they call it? A catalogue, a series of events that happened after that. So I don't know. I don't know. Will that affect tonight? Who knows? Who knows? But I know one thing: Fabio's not going to want to give up that belt. Just as much as Daniel wants to take it off him, and I believe that he can, Fabio ain't going to want to give it up. Do you know what I mean? So uh, it's got to the point where are we actually? Every time I talk about boxing, when it comes to Fabio Wardley, and I say, "Oh yeah, but that's the better boxer. Boxing always wins." He continuously proves me wrong. But now that I'm backing him, I'm saying, should I be backing him? Because now I feel like I switch sides, and then he might lose because I'm backing him. It's a mad. This fight is just like what? Sweet hand John. Sweet hand John. Why have you got sweet hands, John? Talk to me. Sweet hand John. That sounds American. Are you from the USA as well? I'm curious about where my viewers are from. Still can't believe that Chel stoppage. No, you're not. That's British speak. No, neither can I. Not in the month of Sundays. I didn't think that Morrell was going to get stopped on his feet. On his feet. It's insane. Yeah, you're right. He does it. Triple D gets like disrespected by everybody. It's sad though. It's sad. It's sad. So it's like sometimes I'm just like, oh, just keep me away from it. If you said, yeah, Dubois even said that he was taking the mick, which shows he always feels that the media are mocking him. Damn. You see what I mean? That's cold. That is cold. Yeah, I don't like that, because when you say, oh yeah, but you're out there, you should be able to take it. But I don't think Daniel's just like everybody else, is he? He's not, is he? So he's gonna deal with things like differently, if that makes sense. Trying not to get myself banned from anywhere else this week. Anyway, 68 DG, Daniel is cool. He's lively around his people. Yeah, spot on. But appears to have social anxiety. I saw a lot of these interviews, and the line of questioning was absolutely pathetic. And like I said, 68, I didn't watch them. I've just seen stuff that's been put up on X. Or like I said, if he put something up on X where he clicked something and said name and shame who the interviewers are. I know who one of them was, and I wouldn't say who it is anyway, but one of them I don't know. I know who the second one was that if he was on about. I don't know who the first one was. But I wouldn't do that anyway. It's down to them, isn't it? Are they being given questions to ask of Daniel Dubois, or is everyone sitting like in a boardroom giggling and saying, "Oh, how should we pee him off this day?" It's not nice, is it? And I think, like I said, I think the public is au fait to that. And some people are like, yeah, taking a mick with them and find it all really funny. But a lot of like the viewers, a lot of the audience are like calling people out on it and said, you shouldn't be doing that. You know what you're doing. You think you're slick, which I think is brilliant from the boxing public to say, I see what you're doing there. Because that's nice, because it shows that, you know, with the fans, there's some sort of compassion towards him as well. If he said those interviews should be exposed, Dubois doesn't need that. I guess there's a reason why some people stay behind the camera. I mean, to be fair, I'm doing that now, but because I just think it's better with the guest on there. But you ain't going to know who they are. I don't think anyone's going to go out there and rat on them anyway. Blood Beats 6156. Every other boxer has to answer these questions. I get it. I'm not disputing that, but you know what Daniel is like. He's not like every other boxer, is he? That's the issue, isn't it? He's not. You can't like. You just listen. They're all different anyway, but you can see he's very awkward in interviews. He gives one-word answers. I think I interviewed him after. Oh yeah, it was after the Anthony Joshua fight, and I think that went viral. Obviously, they cut my voice out, but his answer to my question, you know, when he dropped the mic on the table in the post-fight, that was my question, and he was happy with that. He was fine. But when I've seen him after that, he just like looks like he doesn't want to like speak to you. So he's just like, yeah, cool, I get it. Dev Sani is absolutely fantastic with him. And like I've mentioned on X, there's another interviewer that DAZN were using. I don't know where she is and why she's not there anymore. Ruth, ringside with Ruth. I think her name's Ruth Rapier. They were using her and she was absolutely like really good. I think she was an amateur boxer herself. So she's got that background. She would have been able to interview him if it wasn't Dev, but she's nowhere to be seen now. So you've got to ask, who are they using? Why are they using these people? And basically, what do the channels want? Do they want quality, or do they just want sound bites? They want viral clicks. They want people to watch it over and over again. And then that will make me think, well, where's the quality? I go back to the 90s when the interviewers and the boxers would be practically coming to blows because the interviewers were very, very confrontational, but they were confrontational with intelligent questions. These questions are not intelligent. So I understand that sometimes there's a conflict between the fighters and the interviewers. I get that. But at least then they were asking questions that were like intelligent. I think one of them was Bernard Hopkins, and he was in the ring arguing with the interviewer. His name skips my memory. Please forgive me. And Bernard Hopkins was fighting his mandatories because obviously he wants to keep his position for his world title, etc., etc. But the interviewer was saying, well, these fights are boring. We don't want to see these fights. We want to see you fight competition. And then Bernard Hopkins like, well, what do you mean? I've got to fight them. They're my mandatory. I don't care what you think, blah, blah, blah. And these two are like going at it. But there was substance. I get it. The interview was talking from a fan's point of view, but Bernard was talking from a status point of view that he wants his belts. He wants to remain in his rankings. So he's got to play it a certain way. But sitting there just asking like, I mean, do you want to see blood? Or I'm thinking, what? There's only so many questions you can ask a fighter before it just becomes rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So I understand why they reduce the amount of media that goes to these events, because it's going to get really, really tough on these fighters, all of them, no matter who they are. If you're constantly being asked the same goddamn questions all the time, it's going to do your head in. So I understand if they start to lock down the media to only allow certain channels. However, if you're the ones that are running the show, you're the broadcaster, etc., make sure that you've got really good staff working for you that know what they're talking about, that will ask good questions, because it's a mockery to absolutely everyone else. And that's my personal opinion. I've said it before. I've said it on lives. I've said it on my own videos. And I'll say it to anybody that has a problem with me saying it, because that is exactly what I think. We are losing quality for the sake of clicks, for the sake of viral moments, for the sake of views. People panicking, haven't got enough views. Like, we're living in like this weird matrix that, like, quality doesn't matter. It's just how many clicks you can get. Insane. But that's online stuff, and we're not going to go down the rabbit hole tonight. They're just announcing the fighters, so let me quickly catch up. Cyan said, good evening, everyone. You can make a case for either Wardley or Dubois. I don't think it will go past 6 rounds. Don't just judge Daniel on his boxing, end of. And you're right, but we don't, do we? That's the thing, we don't. You're right, absolutely. Judge him on his boxing, end of. But we don't. In the real world, we don't. But you are right. Daniel is on the autism spectrum. This is not me saying this because I'm not a qualified doctor. 68DG says that, in my opinion. It's disgusting how people think it's okay to mock him. Yeah, that is nasty. He's a new father. Yeah, absolutely. And doesn't have patience for these things. And I respect Daniel's stance. To be fair, 68, you've always stuck up for Daniel in all the chats as well. So I know you mean what you say. So Ras says, the best man is so kind and loving, respectful, love to him and his family. Yeah. Here we go. Echo Esimman and Jack Rafferty. Lovely guys these are. Jack Rafferty, I've spoken to him so many times, like off camera, but not on camera, which is really weird. Hold on. Speaking of cameras, just adjust that one there. Here we go. Seconds out. Both guys make their way to the center of the ring for what seems to be a very quick start. Backhands, jabs being thrown, jabs to the body, the head by both fighters. Esimman throws out the jab, double jab. Jab come from Rafferty, parrying away the jab coming in from Esimman. Backhand there from Rafferty. Jab going forward from Esimman. 1-2 from Rafferty. Nice head movement from both guys, both of them throwing out the jab. Rafferty's throwing out the jab. These are not necessarily doing any damage. We are in round number 1. Esimman seems to have found his range a little bit more quicker than Rafferty as he comes in, finds his own range, comes through with the jab, 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 and the backhand. This is the work of Rafferty. Both guys still in the center of the ring. This fight has started off with a fast pace. Jab to the head and overhand there that just scrapes the head of Rafferty. Jab, jab, backhand from Esimman. Sweeping hook that Rafferty just manages to evade as he comes back with his own double jab. Following Esimman as he moves around to his left. Keeping that head offline there. Good work by Esimman. Always thinking about that counter that's coming in. Feinting there from Esimman. 1-2 coming in from Rafferty. Jab from Esimman. Jab from Rafferty. Jab from Esimman. To in and throw in. The 1-2, he tries to go for the overhand. Again, that's Esimman, but misses Rafferty. 1-2. The 2 goes to the body from Rafferty. Nice work there. Just a sweeping hook that misses the head of Esimman as he throws out the jab, goes to throw that overhand. But it's not landing as yet. Rafferty seems to be able to get out the way to evade that. Quick pace fight. We're in round number 1 and we've got just over a minute left. This is the co-main, or for the main event that's coming up next, which is between the WBO title holder Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois. If you was with us earlier, we was just catching up on that conversation. And if you've just joined us, I'm Abs of October Red, and this is conversation and commentary. A live watch along. There is no footage, just me babbling on about what's going on in the fight, and obviously speaking to our wonderful guests. I'm going to call you guys in the comments. Let's have a look. Esimman definitely in the center of the ring at the moment. Nice output from both of these guys. Head movement, feints. The pace has just slowed slightly as we come to the end of round number one. The Esimman keeps on trying to throw that overhand. I know he got some serious damage in his last fight, and that was with Jack Catterall, wasn't it? I think. My memory serves me correct. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I should have all of this information written down, but if you know me, you know I freestyle. And I think my memory's starting to fail me. Round number one finished. Let's have a look. Oh, some brummies in the adverts there. Yeah, so we was talking about just the pressure that Daniel Dubois is under, and basically just get some solid interviewers. I would say there's talent out there. There's people that know what they're doing. I mean, look at what Charlie Parsons is doing now with Matchroom and DAZN. He worked extremely hard to get into the position that he's in. He deserves it. And to be fair, if you're all right with him and Eddie and their, the banter that they have before they start talking, when you do listen to it, some will listen to it more than I do, but there's some good stuff in there. There are some hidden gems. Nice hook there landed by Rafferty. Right, here we go. Round number two is just starting with these two gentlemen. Can't believe I forgot that this fight was happening when I said this one could be one of the fights of the night until Gavin Gwynn beat Khalil Majid in a high-paced fight till Zach Chel caused the first upset on the card, if you want to call it a true upset, with David Morrell that was tipped to be light heavyweight sensation of the world due to fight Callum Smith that flopped. Took this fight. Probably thought he was going to go in there and breeze it. Man, was he wrong. But that is boxing. Sometimes these cherry picks can go really wrong. We've seen it before. You think you've got the winning of someone because of, who they are. You don't know them or whatever. And then you end up just getting, smoked. Nice 1-2 coming in there from Rafferty. Esimman comes back with the one. Like I said, when he had his last fight, he got some serious damage in that. He was, practically beaten to a pulp. From what I can remember, I had to ask his management team, was he actually all right? Dangerous fight that was. But he's back. He's not giving up. He's there. He's still going on. Rafferty just on the back foot now, trying to inch forward to get back that control of the center of the ring. I'd say that potentially Rafferty's more accurate with his shots, landing the punches, where Esimman's just slightly falling short. He keeps on trying to throw this overhand right, which is clearly in his previous arsenal because Rafferty knows it's coming, and so far he's managed to avoid it. But Rafferty's showing a good pace. He's picked back up again. The jab goes through the guard to Esimman. Esimman just throws out his jab. Rafferty manages to avoid the second one. Rafferty on the back foot. Esimman coming forward, but manages to throw the 1-2. Esimman there once again goes for the overhand. I'm sure one of the other Rafferty signed with Matchroom. Jab to the body from Rafferty. It's like he's working Esimman's body here. Throws in the hook to the head. The jab comes back from Esimman. The 1-2 there. Both of the guys in the clinch, fighting in the clinch. The refs let them fight in the clinch. Let's see how it goes. It's not shouted break yet. Punches going into the body from Esimman and from Rafferty. Rafferty pushes him off. 1-2 from Rafferty. 1-2 again from Rafferty. Jab, backhand. That gets him off balance there. That's some good work from Rafferty. The overhand goes in once again. Esimman there pushes forward, goes in for the body. Both guys in the clinch, and the ref separates the two. Oh, that was a sweet hook to the head of Esimman as he throws back, but both guys end up in the clinch. Let's have a look at the breathing. We're coming up to the end of round number 2 of this fight. Esimman coming forward, nice barrage of punches, getting those hooks in that are going in behind the guard of Rafferty. Nice work. Just listen to Mike Offo. I'll tell you what, the Sam Jones and Mike Offo did more, like you said, the views, the sound bites, than the actual boys that are fighting. It's crazy, isn't it? Old school all the way. Yeah, definitely old school. Azare, love the hair and the plants. Oh, I was waiting for someone to comment on my hair because I don't usually have it out, do I? I was speaking to Frank Warren. I says, "Oh, Frank, I've got my hair out today. Do you like my bush?" And he just looked at me like he just giggled. But he's like, "This woman's insane." Somebody asked if it was permed. Somebody asked if it was mine, and then yeah, there were other things said. Seems to be a great topic. Hair. Um, Yeah, sometimes I don't want to have it slicked back. Sometimes I just have my natural curls out, and these are my natural curls. No, I've missed the chat, guys. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. We are going into round number 3, and it is a 12-round fight. This is the fight, the co-main, the lead-up fight to the main event, which is the heavyweight title fight between Fabio Wardley, the champion, and Daniel Dubois, scheduled for 12 rounds on behalf of and sanctioned by obviously the WBO and the British Boxing Board of Control. But before that, we've got Jack Rafferty versus Echo Esimman. A fast-paced fight, another fight that started very quickly. So I'm Abs of October Red, and this is conversation and commentary. There isn't any footage. We are just talking about boxing, and I'm scared to turn away because I missed Liam Cameron get dropped by Brad Ray. So my eyes will be firmly on this fight until the round finishes. Obviously, it's the boys, so it's 3-minute rounds. And I think we've got, just under 2 minutes left of round number 3. Fast-paced fight. Good fight for the boys. It's been like that all night, to be fair. I haven't had any anticlimactical fights so far, except for the Jalalov one. Throw him in with some... Throwing him in some Brit. Sorry, I thought he caught Esimman there. Who's going to go down. I'm sure I should have been a commentator on UFC. I'm more loud and vulgar like they are. Right, the jab coming through. 1-2, not that hook, that 1-2-3 from Rafferty, that hook that is getting to the right hand side of Esimman's head is not missing. You know? And it's really, like I said, it's really high pace, bouncing on his feet. I'd say that Rafferty's looking to be the more dominant force. Esimman's timing is just off. He keeps on going to throw this overhand right. And Rafferty's reading every time it's coming, and he just manages to move out the way all the time. Can't get him with it. So we've got Esimman on the back foot, Rafferty on the front foot, coming forward, throwing the jab hand first. Sorry, the backhand first, then the jab hand. 1, 2, 3. Double jab, backhands. This is the work from Rafferty. To be fair, one of the things that he's doing as well is cutting the ring off quite nicely as well, to be fair. I was saying that they're both back in the center of the ring, but he was following him around nicely, just, trying to cut that ring off. Nice little sidestep from Rafferty there that just opposed the position that Esimman was trying to get in. Some good ring generalship as well. I'm just worried about Esimman taking too much potential damage in this fight. It looks like his eyes are swollen once again. Ugh. Once again, the overhand, he's not getting it. The timing is not there. Let's have a look. 68 says Parsons is doing well. Not a fan of the 2-minute sponsored ads, but it's good other than that. Yeah, definitely. Science said, October Red, what's your view on Zuffa boxing? Dana has allegedly had many court cases from UFC fighters. If this is true, it's a disgrace. The boxers are the stars, not the promoters. It's funny that, isn't it, Cyan? I should be able to pin that comment, but we're not on StreamYard, so I can't. I have lots of different thoughts on that, but I've got to get through this chat. Copy and paste it. I might be behind. That can happen with me. Yeah, that could be. I could be behind. Sorry about that. Thoughts on the heavyweight division? We were the winner of Wardley face Dubois. Wardley versus Dubois face Italma. Nope. They ain't going to do that yet. And shout out to Ras, and thank you very much. Thank you very much for the £10. I appreciate that. Rastafari, love, and keep up the good work. Thank you very, very much. Very much appreciated. Can't go wrong with the donations, and they do help. The traveling, the petrol, well, in my case, the diesel is extremely expensive. Sorry if I am lagging behind. Um, let's have a look. Nah, I can't do anything about that. That's just where DAZN has got me. So maybe the other streams are quicker than yours. I don't live in an area with particularly good internet. My internet has gone off while I've been doing live streams before. So I won't be surprised if that happens tonight as well. So yeah, we've got Esimman that's coming in with some shots, wide shots, very Chisora-esque with these shots. We've got 2 minutes left of round number 4 of 12. That's where I am on the clock. So if I am slightly behind, I do apologise. Let's have a look. We're in round number 4 of 12. And it looks like Esimman's starting to come forward with more shots, but there's some blood there. So it looks like Esimman's probably leaking from either his eye or his nose. The jab comes out once again, a nice stiff jab from Raferty. Backhand jab once again. Hook to the body from Esimman. Jab from Raferty. 1-2 from Raferty. The 1 to the head and the 2 to the body. 1-2-3 with the hook on the end of that shot, and that was from Esimman. Rafferty comes out with a jab once again. Some backhands, jab hands coming in from Esimman. His face looks pretty bossed up, to be fair. The jab once again from Rafferty. Esimman starts to try and push Rafferty back, but he's 1-2. That 1-2, and he goes to the head and then turns it into the body. Doesn't seem to miss. And it's through the guard that he's punching with that jab as well. 1-2-3, comes back. Esimman comes back through his. The hook comes in from Rafferty. It's almost like he's starting to turn the screw on this. He's upping the pace even more. Let's have a look. 1-2. That's that double jab and backhand once again from Rafferty. Esimman moving laterally at the moment, moving around to his left. Yeah, the body shot there with the jab hand from Rafferty. Once again, the 1-2 from Rafferty. Esimman comes back, but he's just falling short with his shots. Better in when he's on the inside, but at the end of Rafferty, it's not working. He can't really get to him. Rafferty's quite good with range. He tends to like lean forward. So there's this false sense of security that he's quite close to you, but he's able to move out. Because if you look where his body is compared to his head, he's quite out of the way. Right. Zoffa boxing. I haven't really got any thoughts on it. I think it's good to have a promotional company in boxing. I saw that Dana White put up that he's promoting Fury versus AJ, which is absolutely insane. I think Eddie debunked it and went, stop the cap. I'm going to be speaking to Frank Smith about that as well. We've had a conversation about it, but I'll wait until obviously I speak to him and then I can ask him the question again, and he can tell us what his thoughts are on that comment. Yes, 68DG has got a very good knowledge of the UFC stuff. When I've done stuff on Zuffa and on the UBOs and the Ali Act being amended, 68DG's put loads of comments regarding the lawsuits and the millions that have been paid out by the UFC. But you've got to think that Zuffa's not funded by the UFC, is it? It's funded by Saudi. So, yeah. And obviously Nick Khan's kind of like the face of it, not necessarily Dana White. He seems to be like a sleeping manager, like someone that's there or promoter. But Nick Khan seems to be the one that's at the forefront of it. He was at the House, the Senate, giving his point of view on why he believes that Zuffa boxing will work. Are they going to put good fights on? Am I a fan of another belt being added? No. Am I a fan of them wanting to try and relinquish all the belts that we have got already? No. But when you look at what it is for boxing, yeah, good. We've got Jack Massey and Chev Clark down in Bournemouth on the undercard of Chris Billam-Smith. I think that's a good fight. I think that's probably going under the radar a bit as well. I think that's a really good fight, British fight. So they're putting on their first card in Bournemouth, which is going to be aired by Sky Sports. So they're doing bits. They seem to be taking fighters left, right, and centre. The last crop seemed to be, I mean, is Chef Clark now not with Matchroom? Not, I don't think they'd be bothered if I'm honest. Um, but is Chef Clark gone to Zuffa? Has Jack Massey gone to Zuffa? Or they just put them on there as a British card? Because I've not seen anything about them being signed, but I've seen that they're obviously fighting. Chris Billam Smith is the one that they've signed. But these like Massey, Smith, are boxer fighters. So that you have to look at what's happening to the stables that are left. Boxer was particularly thin anyway. So who have they got left now? Obviously, they've got Gradis Kraus that's fighting out in Holland tonight, I believe. So good luck to him as a main event. But what fighters have they got left? Is Richard Rapport still with them? Is Fraser Clark still with them? Obviously, Adam Azim fight's been announced. I think, is it May the 30th, maybe? So have they still got Adam Azim? Yes, for now. Don't know. So how many fighters have Boxer got left? I think, when the stables start to get depleted like that, obviously they've got Lauren Price, they've still got Fran Hennessy. I don't even know what the hell's going on with Carrie Sartin Stall. But what's left of their stable? So I think a lot's going on in boxing. Should we care? Maybe not. Because it's not, we just want to see the fights, don't we? I don't like having 10,000 subscriptions. I think Queensbury coming to DAZN has made it a lot easier because I didn't need Sky anymore. But now if I'm going to watch Zuffa fights, and I mean, is he going to put them on at 3:00 in the morning? If so, I'll just watch the highlights on Sky Sports the day after. Or are they going to be like British Times? In that case, I'll have to get Sky Sports again. So I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of 16,000 apps on my phone. I'm not a fan of 10,000 belts. But I like to watch boxing. If that's kind of a long answer. So we'll see. Let's have a look to do. Heavyweight division. I don't think the winner of Wardley Dubois is going to face Itama, even though he sat there in the audience. I think Ajit Kabayel's got to fight Usyk, or Usyk's going to drop another belt. And then I think the winner of Wardley Dubois will fight Usyk. Even though Usyk said he wants him to win. He wants Wardley to win, but he didn't say he wants him to win to fight him. And at the moment, he seems to be bouncing Anthony Joshua around on a yo-yo, running together and whatever anyway. So he's obviously got something to keep him distracted before he fights Rico Van Heerden in the Pyramids of Giza. We are going into round number 6 of 12. If you just joined us, Abs of October Red, and this is a live watch along. It's conversation and commentary. There is no footage, just we get busy in the chat. We have conversations in the chat. We talk about all things boxing in the chat in between the rounds. Or sometimes if they're having a round off or it's kind of going how it was before, I'll engage more in the chat as well. So this is a fight. At the moment, we've got Jack Raferty versus Echo Esimman. It looks like the fans have got Raferty winning every round at the moment. And like I said, we're in round number 6, but it is a 12-round fight. This is a fight that comes on before the main event, the fight that we've all been waiting for, the fight that's had a crazy build-up this week between managers and not managers and everything else. Daniel Dubois exiting interviews because it's just like, what's going on? And then we've had Fabio Wardley that's kind of, I'm like this all the time. This is my personality. And he's kind of chill, just gets on with it. He's confident. Some people don't like Fabio Wardley's confidence, and I don't know why. I don't think he's arrogant. I didn't like the dustbin man comment, though. I didn't like that. But, yeah. Because, if you wasn't doing a certain thing, what do you think that person would do for a living? Yeah, I didn't like the dustbin man comment, to be fair. But I won't call him arrogant. I don't think he's arrogant. Let's have a look. We've got just over a minute left in round number 6 of 12. There's blood all over the shorts of Esimman. I'd say that Rafferty's quite dominant and has been dominant all through the fight. Esimman's on the back foot, but he seems to be like I said, he's been doing this all fight. He's tried to really land some shots, but they're just not really landing. If you look at the poise of Rafferty, he just continuously comes forward with all the shots. It looks like the body shots are starting to hurt him now. Rafferty's literally just piling the work on. Once again, Esimman just goes to throw that overhand right, but loses his balance. I reckon his team might be lurking somewhere with the towel. I don't know if they're going to let him take too much more punishment because his face is already bust off. But his so Echoes there was on the ropes, but he's not now. He's back off them. But he does look particularly. Yeah, he looks. Yeah, and yeah, he just looks a bit tired now, and I think he's got some damage to his eye. I think that's where the blood's coming from on his shorts. Yeah, I think his corner might be having a word with him, to be fair. Right, let's have a look. Happy Mother's Day weekend to those that celebrate it. It's Mother's Day. I thought we had that already. Is that in the US? Is it Mother's Day in the US? But if you are from the US and you're a mother, or you've got a mom and you want to celebrate it, yeah, Happy Mother's Day. I'm sure we've done this already. Groundhog Day, it's Father's Day that we've got coming up next in June. Beautiful Golden Dragon. Really want to hear your view on Suffer 2. Need to know. I kind of gave it that summary. It's quite bland, isn't it? 68 DG. Donna is a crook, scumbag, lies every day. You are not going to get anything positive. Oh, he's waved off then. Yes, they've called it off. I thought they would. I didn't think he should carry on. Too much punishment, especially after what happened with Catterall. They did the right thing to call that off. Let's have a look. I lost in York Hall, gutted. You lost in York Hall. Science said it's a shame that boxing does not have a union. Yeah. A lot of boxers end up in a bad way. Yep. Sadly, the promoters don't care. Many boxers need medical help. With a union, many boxers get taken advantage of, or they wouldn't if there was a union. I suggested that there should be private medical health care offered as part of your, like if you sign to a promoter, etc., that you should have private medical health care. And that also includes potentially like counseling for mental health, stressful, all of the stuff that comes with getting your head pounded in every day, and maybe other stuff that goes on outside of the ring as well. So yeah, mental health is really important. Something that's close to my heart. Ricky Hatton, there's a foundation set up for him. I think in June the 6th, I think it's in Manchester, they're doing like a celebration of life. So it's like a party and stuff. So I think that'll be good. I'm not sure if it's a ticketed event or whatever, but they've now got a foundation, a charity, and it's to help fighters. So I think that's a brilliant thing. Obviously, we know that Ricky Hatton unfortunately took his own life. So rest in peace, Ricky. And if anybody else, thinks about doing anything like that, you've got a place in this world, and we definitely don't want you to do stuff like that. Get help, speak to somebody, don't keep things to yourself. So if you said Esimman's moving like an Everlast punching bag with legs, yeah, I did say I wouldn't be surprised if the corner's like lurking with the towel, but they quite rightly called it off. So you used to box then, Raf? Okay. So what did you do then? Just retire, or what happened? Esimman and Cameron must retire, man. It happens like that. But the thing is, they've been in tough fights. They've been matched, quite tough. Yeah, I don't know how much Echo has in him to come back. But you could see that even the body shots were starting to hurt him. He's got a family. Hopefully he's been compensated well enough that he can be quite comfortable with his family. But it's a bit of a tricky one, isn't it? I always feel kind of cheeky or disrespectful when I tell a fighter, I think it's time to finish your career. I almost feel like it's an invisible privilege that we shouldn't have, and it's down to the fighters. But I do also agree that fighters need saving from themselves, because sometimes they'll just do like crazy stuff and there's nobody there really guiding them. So yeah, it's a bit of a catch-22, that is. But congratulations to Jack Rafferty. Congratulations to Zach Chel. Congratulations to Brad Ray. Really, 3 really good fights. Oh, sorry, and Gavin Gwynn. 4 really good fights that I've watched this evening. You know what it is? It's main event time, isn't it? And it's already 10:30. How on earth is it 10:30? Gosh. So yeah, they won't delay the main event coming on now because it's 10:30, and obviously they're going to have a post fight presser. The wait's over, guys. The wait is over. Blood beats Wardley and Dubois. Don't say that. There need to be blood beats. I'm sure I've seen Wardley's hands getting wrapped. I didn't hear. Did anybody hear when Dubois actually got to the event? Because Wardley got there, and then I'm sure about like an hour after they said that Dubois was stuck in traffic. Has anyone seen his hands getting wrapped, or has anybody seen him in the changing room? But then again, I bet media's all banned now, aren't they? They're going to get him to zone out. I know Wardley's hands are wrapped, so blood beats, don't do this to me. We're not going to be here till like 1 a.m. in the morning. I think it's going to be time. They're obviously giving these guys some more extended time to chat away, but they shouldn't be doing a ring walk at 11 o'clock. It should be 10:30, and it's 27 minutes past now. Let's have a look. Cyan said boxers are first to know, but the last to accept. Yeah, I get it. It's tough. It's tough. I kind of step aside. We've got our opinions, but like I said, it almost feels cheeky, like to tell him, you need to give up. I mean, if it was a friend and I thought like if it was somebody else close to, I would say, yeah, I think you need to like pack it in. But like for the ones that I don't really know like that, I wouldn't say anything. Because they should have a team around them that should tell them that. Bloodbeat says they went into the changing rooms. He had one hand wrapped. Don't mess about. How long ago was this? How long ago did they go into the changing rooms and he had one hand wrapped? Don't take the mic. How long ago was that? Oh, that's nice. Jack Rafferty says, all I want to do is fill my pockets up and pay my mortgage off, and I know Frank can do that. Fair play. I think Dev's just mentioned him fighting Rolly Romero. So he's a 147 fighter then. I like Rolly Romero. I think he's a great character, and I think he'd be brilliant in the UK. He's quite funny. Yeah, I like Rolly. 10 minutes. Oh, for God's sake. It takes about 20 minutes. Takes about 20 minutes to wrap your hands because obviously they're getting checked by the opposition as well, aren't they? So it's not like it's going to be done in 2 minutes. And then we're going to have to listen to Sweet Caroline for 500 years. I don't like that song anyway. Sorry for those guys that love listening to Sweet Caroline, but I listen to the lyrics and I don't like the song. And I beg you to just go and listen to the lyrics yourself. Because Caroline was a bit young. But anyway, we are here. I'm Abs of October Red. Do you see why I'm just like, nobody's like going to sponsor me? Because I'm just reckless, aren't I? I'm Abs of October Red. We are here for our conversation and commentary. Should I put on my 1930? We could have some static, couldn't we? Conversation and commentary. We are coming up towards the end of the night. But by no means is this the end of the night, because we are going into the finale, the fight, that highly anticipated voluntary defense, where Fabio Wardley has decided to take on Daniel Dubois to keep that WBL belt that he was given. So this is kind of like the real fight for it. He's got it, but this is where he retains it. A good fight. All of us have been backwards and forwards. A few of us have like stuck to our guns. Yep, he's going to get, knocked out. Dubois is going to knock him out. Fabio's going to knock him out. Nobody's in agreement. There is no majority, I don't think, that believes that either one of those is going to win. I think with Fabio and I think with Daniel, potentially, obviously I haven't got a crystal ball, but I think that they're going to start very quickly. Do you remember when Fabio started the fight with Fraser Clark, the first one, and he started too slow? And then he was like, nah, that ain't happening. And obviously we saw how that fight went, where obviously it was a draw, but another fight that was debatable. But then the second time he fought him, he just took all of that out of his hands and just went there and obviously did what he did to Fraser's face. Same thing Fabio did with Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua didn't even get to just take that deep breath in and get the guard up. Dubois just sat on his chest. Now, potentially, is this something that could happen with both of these guys? Are they literally going to come out of it, ready, like bat out of hell, both of them, vicious, looking to take each other off, take each other out? Oh no, Daniel, he's got his gloves on. Blood beats. You need to stop doing these things to me. He's got his gloves on and he's on the pads. Oh, why is the zone tripping now? Yeah, we don't need to hear anybody like talking about anything else. Just get them out there. I hope my DAZN app's not playing up. Oh yeah, they're going to do all the lead up and everything that we haven't watched 5,000 times this week. Yeah, I think it's potentially going to be a fast start from both of them because none of them wants to take that risk to get behind. So yeah, I'm estimating a fast start from both of them. Daniel's going to literally just try and take his head off straight away. Both of them, I do believe, want an early finish because they just do. And to think about it, look at what Daniel did. Look what Daniel does do to the face of others. You don't really want that. But then again, look at what Fabio did to Fraser Clark. You don't really want that either. They're both dangerous. It's a dangerous fight, a good fight. I don't like one of the things that have been said about Fabio. The fact that people are saying that he's lucky. No, he's not. Because he's the one that's grafted to get where he is. There's a lot of people that have said that Fabio's lucky, and I really don't believe that. I believe that he's disrespected because of obviously his white collar background. And I think with that, sometimes like when you get a job and those that have been to university and those that have got college education, there's a little bit of, oh, you didn't go to university, so you're not really that special, are you? Even though sometimes those are the ones that will outperform the ones that did go to university, and I think there's a little bit of that in boxing. So a fast start from both of them. They're going to want to take each other's heads off. I would like to know what you think is going to happen tonight. I can hear 68 DG going on for, is definitely for Daniel Dubois. I can't remember. Chris, I wonder who Chris is for, or Iffy. I don't know who they're for, but let me know who you are going for. Blood Beats, I've just worked out, is a habitual liar that likes to wind me up on lies. But you can come again. I don't mind being wound up. Rass is saying round 4 to 6. 68 goes on to say it's tough to actually retire. They are young men who often have no other way to make money. Imagine if someone told a 35-year-old office worker to retire. Yeah, you have a lot of life to live. Boxing, extremely short career. And that's why sometimes I get why people are really, really strategic with the fights that they take, because they try and get the most money out of it because they know that they've not got a lot of time there. I get that, but then it spoils it for us. It's catch-22, isn't it? And I agree, yeah, that song is not the best. So when I hear it, when I'm at these fights and it's like they're trying to pass time, say we've had round 1 and 2 knockouts and they're trying to pass the time and they put that song on, I'm like, what? Which bit was funny, Ras? 68, Moses is Fabio's mandatory. Moses is Fabio's mandatory. Did he choose Dubois because they think he's easier than Moses? They're in the same camp, aren't they? Daniel at £252 is coming to roll out. Yeah, when I saw that £10 weight increase, I was like, yeah, he's going to try and go in there and literally squat him like a fly, isn't he? Not squat him, swat him. I promise you, I'm drinking water. It's not vodka or white rum. Interesting. Moses is Fabio's mandatory. I think they'll probably avoid that for now because they're in the same gym, aren't they? Ben Davison was at the press conference with him with all Fabio Wardley kit on. I don't think they can do that. I think there's a massive conflict of interest. I'm not saying a conversation hasn't been had that they're going to cross paths, but Ben Davison's in his corner tonight and has been, even though he's got his original trainer that he's been with. I kind of guess like Ben Davison's like the face, isn't it, of the performance gym. Yeah, a Wiseman. I think they'll come out guns blazing as well. See, Blood Beats is having some banter here. So a Wiseman says round 6 to 8 TKO. I'm not sure who though, and that's what we're all doing. We're all sitting here thinking, yeah. Someone's gonna get splattered, but we don't know which one it is. And I think, yeah, that's it, isn't it? You can't. You just sit there guessing. But I'm just looking at both of their fights where they thought there was some sort of risk. They just went in there quick. You know, I mean, fair enough. Usyk, Fury, heavyweights that they could, they've gone to points. But there's certain other fighters that don't go to points, and I'll say that these two boys are like this is the knockout crew, isn't it? So I don't know. We'll have to have a look. Let me have a quick see what's going on X. I like to try and keep up with that. Zach Cheli stops Dave Morrell. Unbelievable upset win. Let me just have a look at. Let me just try and steal some of the comments from Everything Boxing, one of my favorite Twitter accounts. Insane win. Penny for Callum Smith's thoughts. Yeah, spot on. That's and still boxing. Dave Hero, huge for Cheli and his crackers father. Yeah, great. Yeah, and just like that, Cheli versus Callum for the interim. Yeah, and Everything Boxing says I'm not even sure he's gonna take that position. Good win though. Really good win. I know Zach Cheli would have believed in himself, but see, I want to ask you guys something, and I want you to be honest with me, because you usually are, to be fair. What do you think? And I want your personal opinion, right? Because you can put what you want in here, because there's no faces on your accounts, are there? Everyone is getting gassed over this bromance that is forming between Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk. What do you think of that relationship? What do you think? Because somebody was trying to say, doesn't mean that they can't fight each other. They're not going to fight each other if he's part of his camp. So he's obviously not looking potentially for, those world title elements anymore. He's fighting, obviously, this Christian Prenga that nobody knew. I mean, Lee Eaton said he knew him because he said he was going to match him with Moses Atama when he had about a few fights in. So he obviously knew who it was. So he's having that fight as like a warm-up fight, which is fine because, of course, he should have a warm-up. But is that a good enough warm-up to go in there with Tyson Fury? That's always going to be my argument. Now, I spoke to Jamie Moore, and Jamie Moore was saying it's just about the mental side, about climbing through the ropes, about getting yourself like ready for those fight nights again. Jamie was saying it doesn't matter who it is. It's just about getting yourself mentally ready for fights. And I do see that. And it was interesting to hear ex-fighter and a coach basically explain what some of you in the chat might say is basic maths. But my argument is, even though, yeah, that makes perfect sense because of what's happened to him, is this guy going to help him prepare for Anthony Joshua, for Tyson Fury? I beg your pardon. So let me have a look. So, some of you have written some bits in here. Right, another one that's going out. Gamble aware, guys. Gamble aware. Having a little punt on both fighters to get knocked down. Danny says he just wants to learn. I take it that's to be the Anthony Joshua one. Thanks for your comment. Beautiful Golden Dragon. AJ loves Usyk. That's why. Do you want to elaborate on that? Bloodbeat says, what's the harm in it? It's not about harm, but is it beneficial? It's not about harm. Is it beneficial? Is what I'm asking. 68 DG, AJ and Usyk together is great for AJ mentally. Okay. See, there's an answer. Danny says also Daniel learns faster than AJ. That's just a fact. and look at it how you will. I just I, AJ and use it together is great for Anthony Joshua's mentally to help him with that. I don't know. I just think that it just looks like a bit of parading about, you know, like look at us. But I don't know. I don't know. I wanted to ask your opinion because I value your opinions, but yeah, I don't think the Prenga fight's beneficial. Yes, I think it's good to dust the cobwebs off, but I don't know how beneficial that's going to be to prepare to fight Tyson Fury. And I've said it like 9 million times, so it's not like I'm flip flopping with what I've said. Do I think Joshua can learn a lot off Usyk and his team? Yes, because I think that's a no-brainer, and because of the way that Usyk is, and I think Anthony Joshua always wanted to be that chess player in boxing. But what I'd like to see Usyk do is help Anthony Joshua to become more of himself, because he's dangerous when he's actually himself as well, rather than looking for somebody as like you want to mirror them, if that makes sense. Obviously, take all of the good stuff and the advice and the support and everything, but use that to become more you, not more somebody else. But that's my opinion. But we'll see how it goes. We've got Frank White. Seriously, this is a 11:15 ring walk. It's 11:15 now. I'll tell you what, it's lively in that arena. And I know it gets packed in there as well. People say, oh, why they're having like these Londoners fight in Manchester. Honestly, it works. That place is heaving. What did you tell me, Blood Beats? Oh, about the taking 5,000 hours to get out. Nah, but he had his hands wrapped, if that's what you meant. He was just doing some shadow boxing. I said, you know what? I'm going to jump on a live 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then 10:30 we'll start the fight. It's 11:15. If I was in Manchester now, but to be fair, if I was there, I'd be buzzing because the energy, you can hear the energy. You can barely hear what these guys are saying. Right, they're still rattling on about stuff. Oh, here we go. Let's hear what Moses Atama's got to say. Let's have a listen and see what Moses says. Moses is mingling with the fans, he said. All right, he's backing his boy Fabio to get the dub. Right, he says he thinks so and he wants him to win. Does that mean he believes he's going to win? This is Moses Atama speaking to Dev, who's doing the ringside interviews. Interesting. All right. He's not got an opponent confirmed for August the 8th, but he says he would take a world title shot for that WBO. He'd go for, oh, here we go. Sweet Caroline's on. Oh, please turn it off. He'd take that fight, no problem. Right, 68 DG says when AJ lost the second time to Usyk, AJ asked him, "How can you beat me? You aren't physically strong." I'm sure AJ realizes it's his mentality and belief, and he wants that belief. All right, then, and I agree with exactly what you're saying there, but if you've done any like work on yourself or been through any whatever you've been through in your life, and this is not just at you 68, we've got a couple of people listening, you know that the only person that can really build your mindset is you. You can't really rely. You can have support from other people, and I'm not doubting his support network, but it's him. It's all down to him. He's the one that's got to, rebuild himself or strengthen himself mentally. We've all had to do it. Daniel Dubois is walking out now. He's got his robe on, and I just don't want to listen to that song. Right, here we go. Gonna be a fight of two halves. Either Dubois early KOs or Wardley midway late KO stoppage. I think Wardley athleticism is gonna drag him through. Oh, are you saying that you think Wardley's gonna do it, Chris? Django says, yeah, I ain't listened to that either. But they're still rattling on. They're not going into it. So, guys, if you've just joined us on Abs of October Red, this is a live watch along conversation and commentary. There is no footage, just little old me rabbiting on to you guys. We're getting ready for the main event. This is what we're all here for. The stats are up on the screen. We've got 31-year-old, 28-year-old. We've got 242 versus 251 pounds. We've got 6'5", 6'5", and I believe their percentage KOs are the same. The only thing is, Fabio Wardley hasn't got any losses on his record, where Daniel Dubois has got 3. 2 of those being to Usyk, and obviously the earlier one was Joe Joyce when his eyeball was hanging out, when all these rumors started. But yeah, we are here. Thank the Lord. It is time. The event that we've all been waiting for, the event that we've been arguing about, the event that we've got personal about. Yeah, the wait's over. And this is what I love about the build up to these fights, because even now the adrenaline in me is going up because I don't know what's going to happen. I can say what I want. You guys can say what you want, but you don't know what's going to happen. And that is the buzz of boxing. That's why we watch it. That's why we love it, because it's that, the unknown. How can this end? There are so many ways it can end a lot of the time in fights, but I'd be extremely surprised if this went to points. I'd be extremely surprised. So buckle up, get your drinks, get your food, chill out, have the fight on in the background playing, which is exactly what I'm doing while I'm obviously talking to you guys in the chat. Don't blink. The time is now. Oh no, that's a Matchroom, isn't it? Who have they got in the ring? Have they got Michael Buffer? Let's have a look. Let me just go through the chat. Main fight soon starts. Let me make my medicine. Okay, enjoy that. Django said, inuring the crowd with the song. Yeah. 68 DG, very true. I just think Usyk is the fighter voice he needs, but ultimately is on AJ. Chris is saying, I think Wardley does it. Dubois has not been active since the Usyk defeat. Yeah, I suppose. You know what? I thought actually for a minute I thought he fought Joshua, but he didn't. It was before, wasn't it? 68 said, if Daniel loses, I'm off the stream. This is like Bruno Lewis. Who was you backing for that? Because I was backing Lewis. My mum was a massive Lennox Lewis fan. She didn't like Frank Bruno. Sorry, Frank. But my mum really liked Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali. Those were her fighters that she liked. Rest in peace, Mumsy. Chris goes on to say, I do think these parties are very unprofessional from Dubois, in my opinion. You need to be in the right mood. I know it worked in the AJ fight, but still, it's unprofessional. It's one of them, isn't it? Whatever. I mean, he's playing with roots and culture, reggae, as he comes in. Climbing through the ropes, Daniel Dubois with his traditional regalia that he seems to wear all the time. Sort of Mike Tyson-esque, but this one looks satin with his name on the back. He's ready to go, boy. He's ready to go. He is ready. I'm telling you now, this is going to be a quick start. This is going to be a quick. This fight is not going to be no joke. No joke. Right, Osborne Good evening to you, says Wardley in six. Uh, Bart, is it? Bart says Dubois is looking so sad. He didn't look sad when he jumped into the ring then, Bart. 68 says I wanted Bruno, South London. Okay, fair enough. Lions Den. Oh, Fabio's coming out now. Oh, gosh, if I was there, my hairs would be standing up on end if I was there tonight. But I'm still in a fantastic place here with you guys anyway. I think I've done something to my rotator cuff. Oh, is he walking? His manager's walking out with him. I thought Dillian White would have walked out. Is Dillian White not there? Look at him looking all focused. He's got chewing gum in his mouth. I don't know, is chewing gum a sign of nerves? Are we going to start psychoanalyzing this to pieces now? Fabio Wardley, that's, the apprenticeship, not the scholarship, but the apprenticeship has worked his way up to where he is now, to be a belt holder, to be a world champion. A guy that's from Ipswich, a proud football supporter, a family man, a recent dad, come from the white collar scene, signed up with Dillian White from sparring with him, and they've carried him, they've walked with him. He's had to win the fights, but he's had that team behind him all the way. They've just put up his last wins. Joseph Parker, Justice Honey, Fraser Clark, and David Adelaide. And obviously, one of the Fraser Clark fights, it was a draw. So that's his stats. Lots of people have questioned, oh, well, you might not have won that fight. The last fight that he had with Parker. Oh, you might not have won that fight. The ref stepped in too early. Every time it's always doubt, doubt, doubt. We seldom give people credit. We often like to doubt them and ridicule them and put them down, especially if we're not on their side. And I can quite happily say in this fight, I have no horse in the race. I'm looking at it for what it is. They are both great gentlemen. They both have really good teams. I'm just expecting a quick start and a potential knockout in the first half. Let's have a look. Michael is like Eddie to AJ. Come on, Daniel. Yeah, he proper supports these guys, man. When I spoke to him this week, if you haven't checked out the conversation I had with Mike Offo, who's the manager of Fabio Wardley, it was an interesting conversation. He didn't hold back, and he got a lot off his chest. But like I said, I have noticed that a few times when Mike's been on the top table, people haven't taken kindly to that and have made little snidey comments towards him. And I did say that at the beginning of the conversation. If you don't know me, I'm not afraid to speak my mind, and I don't actually want to fit in. So I don't care if I don't fit the norms. I say what I think. I'm always up for a challenge. I don't mind being corrected, but I always will have an honest conversation with people. So some people don't like that, but I guess that's on them. That arena is loud. I remember I was there when Moses boxed, and they were screaming, they were chanting, it was heaving in there. It was a brilliant night. Who's the judges? John Latham. No, I don't know the other two. Scary times. We are here, guys. Oh, Foster's the ref. Ooh, Foster's the ref. Does he stop fights earlier? Was that the one that was that the one with Parker? Howard Foster. They're quite nice in person, actually. I'll say hello to the refs when I'm at the fight. Right, 478. Wardley looking very confident. Yeah. Can you imagine if it was you guys walking up to that ring with all those people there and after the crazy week? You got to rate the fighters, man. They are special people. They are fantastic in the way that they deal with stuff. Oh, it is Howard. Yeah, Howard Foster. So what are we expecting then, guys? He's probably just safety aware, isn't he? Look at Daniel. He's ready. He's actually ready to go. Don Charles behind him there. Had a fabulous conversation with Don Charles. What a guy. Fabulous, fabulous person. Got a lot of time for him. Very, very kind. Very, very kind. And fair play to him for taking Daniel back because I probably wouldn't have done. But I'm not a hot boxing coach. But if I was, Triple D. Gosh, we are here, ladies and gentlemen. The fight is about to start. We've got Thomas Triber, lovely, lovely man as well, to be fair, announcing the fights. Let's have a look. £10 difference on the weigh-in day. I don't know how much they've put on up until now. Wardley seems to have a lot of fans in there that seem to be particularly louder with him. Oh my God, how's this fight going to go? Undefeated. 19 of his wins come by way of knockout. And one draw, obviously. First world title defense. Yeah, we'll go through this. First world title defense. Yeah. Daniel Dubois. Gosh, this is amazing. Why is Dillian White not there? I wonder if he's in the crowd. Let's have a look. Yep, Howard saved Fabio versus Parker. I thought so. The fight ends whatever round. Howard Foster. I'm not even going to put that on here. I saw 3 rounds. Somebody gets knocked out. You saw 3 rounds? You doing like crystal ball predictions there, 478. I saw 3 rounds. Got Septic Peg in the chat. Oh, it's time. Listen, Daniel looks like he's right. Here we go. Come on. Okay, seconds out the belt has gone. Here we go. Get the camera in there so I can see what's going on, man. Ciao. Right, okay. Like I said, I expected it to be a fast start. Dubois takes the center. Daniel Dubois goes down already with the overhand. Oh my days! Daniel Dubois and he's got up already. Fabio gets him with that overhand and he's gone down already. He's going to go onto the retreat now. He throws out the jab. Jab once again from Daniel. Oh my gosh. Backhand comes in from Daniel. Fabio did not like that, but stood his ground. In fact, what? Okay. I need to concentrate on what I'm looking at here. Overhand there that tries to go in from Dubois. 1-2 from Fabio. Damn, I told you they were going to come out quick. You can't afford to take risks here. Once again, he goes for that 1-2 with the overhand, but Dubois manages to slip it. Jab to the head of Dubois. 1-2 once again. Both of the guys on the floor. Yeah, you got to be careful with that. Yeah, he's got to check him over to make sure he's all right. That was a nasty fall to the floor. That's heavy. You got 252 pounds on top here. 1-2. Overhand coming in from Dubois. Fabio's tough. He's took a couple of shots, you know. 1-2. Again, tries to go for the overhand. Dubois slips out the way. Feints coming in. 1-2. This is mad. Jab once again from Fabio. Overhand from Fabio. Dubois pushes Wardley back onto the ropes. Flicking out the jab there. 1-2. Fabio moves out of the way when Dubois tries to clinch him. Obviously trying to squeeze the strength out of him. Jab comes in from Dubois. Fabio comes forward. Like a pouring jab from Dubois. He looks quite heavy, actually. Wardley looks so small. But he's got to be careful, Fabio, when he goes for that 1-2 and he keeps on like over loading up on it. 1-2 once again. But Dubois manages to avoid it. The adrenaline's going through me so much, I can't even get my words out. Right, here we go. Fainting there. 1-2 from both guys. Oh God, round number one's nearly over. 1-2 coming in from Wardley. Dubois just manages to evade it. Good head movement from Dubois as he throws his backhand. 1-2. Wow, what a start! Well, 4-7-8. If that was you doing your predictions, I'd suggest that you might actually be on the right track. Because what? I'm on a break now. So they've stopped. So that's why the minute's off. So I do apologize if I am behind. So 4-7-8. Yeah. Wow. 3 rounds. I can't believe that. It was the overhand, wasn't it? What made him go down? Damn. Was that like 20 seconds? I did say they're gonna start fast. I did say both of them were going to start fast because you can't take any risks. Yeah, it was that overhand. It's just on the top of your temple there, and it on top of your head by your soft spot, and that will knock anyone out. Yeah, absolutely great start. So obviously round one to Fabio. Right, here we go. Right, so Fabio throws out the 1-2 there. Nice jab there coming in from Dubois, where he throws out his 1-2, pushes Fabio back onto the ropes. There's a clinch from Fabio. Is he taking these shots quite comfortably? 1-2 from Fabio. So he's having a look for it. Dubois. Dubois looks huge compared to Fabio. 1-2 once again, but Fabio's missing. Dubois is able to evade the shot. Comes back in with a nice stiff jab. He goes for his own overhand. Throws a hook to the body of Fabio. Fabio on the back foot. Nice stiff jab there from Dubois. Nice roll in there. Good work from Fabio. Just rolling out of a potential clinch and hooking him to the body. But I think with Dubois, I think it's definitely the headshots that work with him. I'm just trying to think, has Fabio actually been down? I know he's obviously not lost, but has he been down? Lovely, nice, lovely stiff jabs there coming in from Dubois. Don't blink. All right, there's the fainting, movements, 1-2 coming in from Wardley. Wardley's like he's struggling to get his range in a little bit. Dubois is quite cute with the movements that he's able to do to get out of the way. 1-2. That's got over there. Dubois got it pushed back on the ropes. Let's have a look at his breathing. Let's have a look. Jab. They've kind of like a little bit of fencing at the moment. Nobody's really committing to any shots. Looks like Fabio's trying to find his range as he keeps on overthrowing the shot. But as he looks to come in, beautiful jab from Dubois. And Dubois goes in for the kill. Clinches him. The ref will separate the two. They won't let these two fight in the clinch. Too much energy is going to be expunged. Confident work there from Dubois. Jabs coming in from both guys. 1-2, the overhand once again. Both guys clinching. Ref separates the two. Coming up to the end of round two. The ref don't want to get too close to these lot. It's like Fabio will go in with the jab, but when he goes to throw the two, the timing, Dubois getting out of the way. I just think that he just caught him like cold. Yeah, great start, definitely. Wardley ate that lash punch easily. Django, this is what I'm saying. Is he going to be able to take these punches from Daniel? That was one of the big things that everyone was talking about. Oh, yeah, you can knock people out, but no one's ever hit him as hard as Dubois. Obviously, that there was sparring rumors where Dubois was supposed to have sparked out Wardley in sparring as well. There's all of that. So he's took the punches all right, but we know a culmination of shots, heavy shots over a period of time, it can cause damage. Let's have a look. Bart saying you can't get jabs like that by Dubois. Stiff jabs as well, isn't it? Ooh. I was just looking at the replay. Bart's Danny Fabio needs to stop ducking down to the right. Bart says also Wardley doesn't look like he's got another plan other than shooting the 1-2 from way too far. And Wardley can't find his range. And 68 DG says, good. All right, here we go. Both guys are in the clinch at the moment. You can see like these fast starts, a little bit of wrestling. There's going to be some tactics here that I know Don Charles would have spoke to Daniel about, and obviously it's to use his size. That's why he's coming heavier, isn't it? And it's just about seeing him get like knocked down and getting straight back up. I thought he got up too quick, but he's all right. He's recovered fine. Do they call that like a flash knockdown? 1-2. Oh, that ramrod jab. Whoa, that was a beast of a backhand. That was a beast of a backhand. If Fabio's legs are still normal after that, dear God, what is he made of? That backhand was evil. I think Dubois like really putting the pressure on him and comfortably fighting on the inside as well. This could really go in Daniel Dubois' favor. 1-2. Oh no, he's got him again. He's took the knee. He's got him again. Fabio he keeps on getting up too quick. Take the counts. Fabio's gonna get him, you know. He's gonna get him. Who said 3 rounds? Where's that geezer in the chat? Who are you? Where you gone? Where's he gone? 478 said 3 rounds. Damn, he's got him. This is what I'm saying about Fabio. Careful. See, that it's happening when he's not trying to throw the shot. That's the thing. And Fabio has took these shots continuously off Daniel. That's 2 knockdowns in 3 rounds. Don't look for the shots. You know what you're doing. He's bullying him out. Look at this. The smaller fighter's bullying the bigger fighter. Damn. 1-2 coming in from Fabio. Dubois throws the jab back out, but it misses him, just like the 2 on Fabio's shot did. Whoa! Overhand comes back in from Daniel, but Fabio just stands there. I thought, oh my God, I thought Fabio was going to go down because that was a peach of a shot. What is Wardley's head made out of? 1-2 from Wardley. The thing is, somebody says he keeps on throwing that 1-2, but sometimes all you need is old basic foundational fundamental shots, and sometimes it works. Even though he's loading up on his shots now and keeps on missing. See, Dubois can be tricky. Oh, that's a nice stiff jab once again coming in from Dubois. Damn it! Start working that jab, doubling it up. Don't stay there. Oh, he's listening to Don Charles, not his dad. In and out, throw the 1-2. How are you feeling? Fabio needs to stop. Well, it's tough. Right, Bart says also Wardley doesn't look like he has another plan. I think his plan's working, that basic plan. 68, Wardley can't find his range. Django says Dubois getting his rhythm back on the knee. He's not getting anything back, is he? 68. Where's Iffy? 68. This ain't looking good. But anything can still happen. Right, hold on. We're in round number 4 of 12. If you've just joined us, I'm Abs of October Red. I'm a bit discombobulated, actually, because this fight has started rapidly and Daniel's been down twice. We are in round number 4, and this is a live watch-along. There is no footage. It's just conversation and commentary for this world title fight between the champion, Fabio Wardley, and Daniel Dubois. This is a voluntary fight. It's not mandatory. A great fight so far. Round number 1 and round number 3, Dubois has been down. It seems to, just the way that Wardley's catching him on his head. Wow. That was a beautiful backhand there from Dubois. See, I'm discombobulated. That's beautiful backhand there from Dubois. But once again, Fabio pauses, like it stuns him, and then he just gets straight back out and comes for him. One of the things that Mike, his manager, Wardley's manager, said to me, what is he going to do, right, when Fabio basically just keeps on coming? He's going to start to get uncomfortable and he won't like it. That was the words of his manager. But in the corner, Don Charles has told Dubois to double jab and go for the backhand. I'm trying to listen if he's listened to any of that now. Backhand once again from Dubois. What is his head made of? Why is his legs not even buckled? Because one thing I will say about Dubois, when he does land the shots, he's very accurate. Once again, he goes in on the inside. Was that a head? He needs to. I think he headbutted him then. I think Dubois might have just knotted him then. 1-2. He's coming in with the shots. Got Wardley on the ropes. Nice hooks, short hooks on the inside from Dubois. The ref steps in and separates the two. Probably would have let them fight that out a little bit. The jab, once again, nice stiff jab from Dubois. Doesn't seem to miss with it. He's really accurate with his shots, to be fair. It seems to be Wardley that loads up, but he still gets the shots that count. Dubois on the front foot, throwing out the jab. Wardley on the back foot. Just throwing that jab out. He's obviously looking to throw the overhand a lot of the time. Obviously rolling under the shots. The ref not letting these two guys in the clinch. Looks like a little bit of heavy breathing there from Wardley. Jab. And as he goes to throw the backhand, the bell goes. I want to hear what his coach is going to tell him. Let's have a listen. So they turn it off and put a replay on. The way he hit that backhand, though, I'm not even going to mess. There's no way he should have been able to. Look at this. What? Oh, right. No, it was Wardley slipping it, so it didn't land flush. It looked like it did. 1 second. Oh, yeah, it did land flush. I'm tripping. That's another angle. Wow. What a fight so far. I'd rather have listened to the corners. That's it. Good slap in the face from Don Charles there, telling him to wake up. There's a lot on the line here, and I'm sure Don Charles doesn't want his fighter to lose, especially after he's left him and come back. It's nice to see Don Charles actually taking charge. Beautiful over the head shot there from the lovely work there from Dubois. Wow. Daniel's definitely like boxing really well. Like I said, he doesn't tend to necessarily waste any shots. The shots that he lands, he makes them count. But Wardley just seems to either he's, I don't know, studied some pressure points or something, but he definitely knows where to get you to make you go down. 1-2 clean from Dubois on the head of Wardley, and he just once again just stands there and takes it. His head like a brick. Wow. That was a nice, powerful hook there. I think Dubois just naturally looks at his corner. I don't think it's anything sinister. I think he got a body shot in there as well to Wardley. Jab. What round are we in? 5 already. Jab once again. Move your head. Just keep moving your head from side to side, Wardley. 1-2. Coming back in from him. Jab, jab. Dubois. So this is a time now where Wardley should probably pivot and get from off the ropes because that's where 1-2 once again. Body shot coming in there. Well, a jab goes to the body from Dubois. This is insane. As Wardley leads out that hand but doesn't throw anything. Once again, Dubois throws that 1-2. Backs up Wardley onto the ropes. He's been knocked down twice, I'd say that. Ooh, jab from Dubois. Jab from Dubois. His gum shield's out. Yeah, he punches that gum shield straight out of his mouth. Django says Dubois getting his rhythm back on the knee. Come on, what a fight. Wow. Good round for Triple D. Almost finished round number 5 of 12 here. On the onslaught, the attack that's coming in from Dubois. Both guys in the clinch and the ref separates the two. You can see like Dubois just like on a hunt. Good movement from Dubois there as Wardley tries to catch him with some shots. He's quite quick on his feet. He's able to get in and out of range quite nicely, unloading the shots. The clappers are going for the last 10 seconds. The bell's going to go. Ref separates the two. Wow. Interesting. Well, look at that then. He's gone down twice. He's took a knee. He's got back up and he's still in there. He's been slapped in the face by his coach and he gets back out there and he gets on with it. These are the things that fuel Daniel. Aggression, confrontation, that will make him just say, all right, I need to prove you wrong. We've seen it in the fights that he's had before. I mentioned it, Miller, Hrgovic, Anthony Joshua. Those were the fights when everyone was there, like writing him off, like he's not nothing. And he went, right, I'm going to show you. Damn. Just punched that gum shield straight out of his mouth. I thought this fight would be over by now. Is it just one of these that's going to go to points? Right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, round number 6 of this world title fight. Therefore, 12 rounds. And we're getting a bit of an onslaught here from Dubois. He comes forward, pushes Wardley back onto the ropes. A nice plethora of shots coming in from Dubois. A 1-2 coming in from Fabio. The jab just doesn't miss the face of Fabio when Dubois throws it out. Not wasting any of his shots. He's really targeted in his punches. Oh, the jab is just not missing the head of Wardley. You know, they say you can win a fight on a jab. If this goes to points, I won't be happy. But he just needs to keep his head moving. The only thing about Wardley is he's not really moving his head. He feints a bit. He uses his legs to do the feints, but that head is just there to be hit. I don't know what my scorecard is. I don't do scoring, boss man, because I always get it wrong. And this fight's got me discombobulated because I'm all over the place. I can't even get my words out. It started way too quick. That overhand, backhand coming in, the jab hand coming in from Dubois, pushes Wardley back onto the ropes. The ref separates the two. This stream's buffering. It's not even a stream, it's the actual app. Jab once again from Dubois. He could just win this, jabbing his head off. But we've seen this before with Wardley. 1-2. Ooh, he comes back with his own. So accurate how he throws out his jab. Jab, backhand. You know, making Fabio seem like he's there to be hit. Once again, the jab, the backhand. Coming forward, Fabio's like stops, gets him to the clinch. 1-2. 1-2. This is the work coming in from Daniel Dubois. They're shouting at each other. I can literally hear Dubois like growling. Oh, uppercut. Yeah, he's put Fabio on the back foot now. Got to be careful of the headbutting though. Jab, backhand, jab. Both boys jabbing each other, overhand coming in. Dubois putting that pressure on. He's going in for the kill with Fabio. He looks like he might get that stoppage. Is it clinching? He's holding on to him for dear life. Oh dear, Fabio does not look good at all. The jab, the shots coming in. Fabio's fighting back. The pressure's on. The backhand. The beating that he's taking, the clappers are going for the last 10 seconds. But Dubois is not letting up. Both guys are in the clinch. Fabio looks absolutely foobarred. That bell needed to go. His face is bossed up. Move out of the way. I want to see what's happening to his face. They're giving him advice saying to put the weight on the front leg. I think he's got to him, you know. I think this is just too much. Too many jabs. Like that jab from Dubois, just like bang, bang, bang. You know, you're chopping a tree down. I bet he's been practicing that on that heavy bag in the pug gym on the farm. Look at this onslaught. This is because people were labeling him and calling him names, and he's like, I'm going to show you. Oh my God. Yeah, Don Charles, box him up clearly works. Box him up, man. Send him back out there. Here we go. Hold on. Right, round number 7 of 12. 1-2. 1-2. The shots once again going in from Dubois. If Dubois keeps up this onslaught, he's putting the pressure on with the weight that he's got. He's going in. Wardley looks like his face, his nose looks caved in, but he's not giving up. Jab, he's still jabbing. Oh, that wasn't even a backhand from Dubois. That was a jab hand. The jab is doing so much damage here. His face looks like, you know, when someone's skull looks like it's been caved in. He's tucking up. Both guys in the clinch. The ref separates the two. Wardley's face is splattered, my guys. Eye and his nose. Look at this is from the jab. This is from the 1-2. This is from the basic shots. Yeah, I think this is like a systematic beatdown. I'm not saying that Wardley can't knock him out, but this is a systematic beatdown. Where's he going to find the strength to be able to come back from this? And I've been wrong about Wardley before, but Dubois just pushed the ref out the way. Doesn't want the ref involved. He's got a point to prove. Because I'm going to show you Dust Man. He looks massive as well. Massive. Imagine the... Look, Wardley's like pouring out the jab, but his face is in bits. But we've seen his face like this before when Fraser Clark fought him. He's backed up on the ropes now. Both guys in the clinch once again. Jab. Pouring out the jab. Wardley's face. Whoa! That backhand there that came in from Dubois. Wardley had no choice but to slip the two shots that were coming after it. That backhand, there's no head movement from Wardley. No head movement. We've seen him spent before, but 1-2. Oh, it's a beating. This is what we'd call a village beating. Yeah. You need to be careful because Wardley is now fighting for survival. And this could potentially make him dangerous. Could Dubois start to punch himself out? This is what we know Wardley to do. He's fighting for survival now. Doesn't want to lose the belt. Now he'll get reckless. Now he'll throw the kitchen sink. What's he saying? What's the problem? Oh, he has now. What kind of dodgy rubbish is that? No one heard the bell. He's tripping. But this is when Wardley starts to get dangerous because this is survival mode. And how many times have we seen Wardley in survival mode? I just can't get enough. Right, let's have a look. Hugo says Wardley's getting his. Yeah, man, he said he's getting some bitch licks. What is wrong with this app? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined us on Abs of October Reds, we are going into round 8 of 12, which I didn't think it would get this far, between the belt holder, Fabio Wardley, and the challenger, Daniel Dubois. Brutal fight. Daniel Dubois has been knocked down twice in round number 1 and round number 3. However, he's come back strong throughout the fight, and literally he's beating Fabio Wardley's face to a pulp. Fabio Wardley feels this risk and he's come out all guns blazing. We are now going into round number 8 of 12. This is where Wardley can get dangerous. It's about that relentless pressure, you know. But the thing is, with Dubois, when he sees that he's on top, he will come for you. He's like that. It's a seek and destroy. What is wrong with this DAZN thing? My thing keeps on freezing. The jab coming out from Wardley. Oh, he goes to throw the overhand and literally nearly throws himself off balance. Right here. Oh my gosh. The beating, the onslaught continues. My app is buffering so much. His face is in an absolute mess. He looks like Hellraiser. Oh, the 1-2 there. God almighty. Right, my internet is now deciding to play up, and this is buffering. If I miss anything from this fight, I'm going to ask for my money back from DAZN. I've just had to refresh the app, so hopefully nothing is happening while I'm waiting for this ad to finish so we can get back into the fight. But I've had to refresh the whole app. So I do apologize to everyone that's listening in, but my app is running really slow, so I've had to refresh it. And here we go. The jab coming in from Dubois once again. We are back. Got 52 seconds left. A little bit more head movement from Dubois here. 1-2. Look at that overhand coming in from Dubois. The blood streaming down the face of Wardley. The doctor's going to want to have a look at that. I wouldn't be surprised if they called it's a championship fight and they'll let them fight to the death. Oh, what? Wardley looks like he lost a bit of balance there. This thing's still buffering like crazy. Dubois is coming forward with an onslaught of punches. Wardley is on the back foot here. Dubois just keeps on coming forward with the shots. Wardley's letting go of his own. Both guys are in the clinch, absolutely exhausted. Damn. He's going to have to go to the hospital after this. He's really looking exhausted, walking back to his corner. Shades of Fraser Clark 1. There was me thinking this was going to be over already, and we're going into round number 9. There's absolutely no way this can go to points. I don't know if they will throw the towel in, Bart, but really, with that kind of beating, should they let that carry on? But it's a championship fight, isn't it? And this is what I'm saying. They'll just probably let it run until, I shouldn't say that, but they'll just let it run. But it's down to his corner. Will his corner throw the towel in? Ooh, let's have a look. I'll get back to the chat in a minute. My internet is running extremely slow. Right, they're having a word about his face. Doctors are in the corner, having a look at his eyes, pressing him. What are you thinking? They're going to stop it on cuts. Get his nose splattered. How many times has that nose been done? Oh God, it's open. The scar tissue's all open. Ugh. I don't know if they're going to let it run. Look at the crowd. So that you're fighting in here, proper gladiators. They will let you go to the death. His nose is hanging off. His face is absolutely destroyed, but all for the love of the sport, right? 1-2. Fabio's just missing the target now, but to be fair, he probably can't even see properly. And Dubois is literally just coming forward with his punishment. Wardley is throwing back. He's not just taking the shots and not doing anything, but the punishment has been real. He's still got a bit of reaction. Nice uppercut there. He's not stopped fighting till the death. Let's have a look. 1-2. This is the work from Wardley. Yeah, it's just this is like just an absolute onslaught. There's a lot. Right, jab once again. This is Fabio is just literally just popping his face off, and my stream is just like both guys in the clinch once again. His face. Look at his eyes. Look at his nose. I don't know. You're fighting to the death, man. You got a daughter to get home to, but this is it, isn't it? Oh, oh dear. It looks like I think Dubois is going to stop him here. How much are they going to let the corner? Where's his corner? Wardley's still throwing back though. The jab coming in from Dubois. Wardley's swinging. His eyes look like they're hanging out. His nose looks like it's hanging off his face. Oh! Wow, the overhand there. I really think they should call this off now, man. This is a beating. And it was absolute bloodbath, but not really a mark on Dubois. Oh my lord! What a pasting! How much are they going to let him go out again? Remember you saying about Howard Foster? He must have listened to all of you lot troll him, and he says, "You know what? I'm just going to leave him in there till whatever, because you lot keep on saying I'm stopping fights early." So Howard's just like, "Yeah, carry on." Yeah, I'll definitely say Daniel's ahead now. Hugo says, "Go tell Wardley manager you don't know nothing about boxing." Hey, come on, you do have winners, you do have losers, and there's levels to this. Wardley needs to get KO. God, oh my gosh. Hugo, you're so vicious. Bart says neither one of them will ever be the same after this fight. I think they will. I think Dubois will be. Ref gave Wardley the look that he wants to stop it. Round 10, no, we're still going. I really nah, this looks bad. Yeah. If Fabio can't even stand up properly. Yeah, don't let him carry on. This is dangerous. Just leave it. Wave it off, ref. Wave it off. Yeah, he's definitely out on his shield, but I think the doctors. They're not gonna let him go back. They're gonna let him go back in, innit? He's not even when look at his eyes. Oh my god, they're letting you know what? It is what it is. What did Deontay Wilder say? Leave me in there, let me go out on my shield. But Daniel's just, yeah, Daniel is definitely on a seek and destroy